sunshine in the Ducatia Empress. About to begin, giving love to all the ancestors that's tuning in. Here comes the Duca Kids with some more. Going out to the all-man, talk shit, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washington, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie, you know me, the homie is OG, coming to restore the crown of the all-man, talk shit, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washington, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie, you know me, the homie is OG, coming to restore the crown of the home. Moving through like an eagle, more like a stinging bee. Ancestors is left, right, front me. I'm all that big dynasty, live inside me. Who got a spark, chip worth, native, made for greatness. That wild, natural style, rain dancer under the moon, knock through the pearly gates. Let's see from Spain to Panama. We still ahead, y'all. Never racing, just so pacing to the top of the dome. We stand tall, y'all. Never lazy, clap, 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 clap. For all the more talking shit, I live petite, but never retreat. 10K is dog on talk. Chopper riding, we awake, verities dreaming. Easy, blood chop, lightsaber walker, wolf talker, never stop. To the home, man, talk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washington, Black, Seminole, Skokie, you know me, the homie is OG, coming to restore the crown of the home, man, talk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washington, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie, you know me, the homie is OG, coming to restore the crown of the home. Shot in the Tiger City, pop, big Buffalo, people coming back to wreck shop, hip hop about it, pop, can't stop the rebirth for raw, indigenous rock with the native chant, Christ war dance, at a glance, anyone who plans at the Shekel war dance, 7th of the album, the Moorish power, make all these 14th Amendment rappers throw in the towel, square, compass, and travel, these masons taking oaths, disrespecting ancestors, selling their souls to ghosts, I raise my glass, make a toast to aberrant hosts, traveling through the cosmos, that's most, meaning that's on top, my wounded knee bandaged up, Black Hawk, what's up, Geronimo Skull, we taking it back from the tombs, when we coming in the rooms, and it's room like, oh man, I talk Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washington, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie, you know me, the homie is OG, coming to restore the crown of the home, man, I talk Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washington, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie, you know me, the homie is OG, coming to restore the crown of the home. The heavens let the sunshine in, lift the tears and empress. I'm about to begin, giving love to all the ancestors that's tuning in. Here comes the tears with some more offering.
Peace, 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 peace. It's time to this one, and I'll do a little recap to the fucking discussion. I'm gonna call it a discussion. I'm not even gonna call it a debate, because it's like John Henry Clark said, only debate might, and yesterday was a fucking fiasco. But nonetheless, though, I presented my information. People who is basically blocking, like I tell y'all, a lot of people come to North America and they try to tell us who the fuck we are. And most of these people who come in here to North America tell us who we are fucking immigrants. Okay? Now, I'm not saying some of the brothers that is out from outside North America, they do help us. But for the most part, most of the people who telling you that you're not an Indian are motherfuckers that's not even from this land. You understand what I'm saying? Such as last night. One thing I don't tolerate is disrespect. That's why I cut the live stream, because in first person, I don't think that I'm gonna take much disrespect from anyone. I don't care if the motherfucker's a 10-foot man. I don't care if it's 10, 20 niggas. I'm not gonna take no disrespect. It's death before dishonor. Always live by a certain code, even when you discussing this information. But this is not a discussion. Most of us are lost, and we trying to find who we are. So when you got people who playing around with that shit, at some point in time, you say, well, damn, we already, for the most part, we moving forward no matter what. No matter if you feel as though the debate went left or the debate was not properly, handled. And we know most of the time when you do debate, you're supposed to send both parties supposed to have each the opposing views as well as your statements that you stand on. We kind of just really just got these brothers, got these motherfuckers on. I ain't gonna call them brothers, but got these motherfuckers on and just pretty much went for. I'm saying I didn't know that the nigga Joseph Flores is gonna be on there because that motherfucker, he is on the Amin Ra squad nuts. And like these motherfuckers who always talk about what's the methodology and all this other stuff on peer review, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, at some point in time, you got to throw smarts out and gain some intelligence. If all of the arrows is pointing this way, right? And I'm not gonna say all of them because it's a lot of arrows that's pointing towards Africa, especially us. But when you got people who anthropologists and paleontologists, and, you know what I'm saying, paleoscientists, when these people live by this, right, such as the individual such as James Chatter, you know, he makes a living off of this shit, right? So you don't think when a person come out and tell you that modern day Native Americans resemble people of Asia and the first Americans resemble Africans, Australian and South Pacific Islanders. Now you must start narrowing it down to like, all right, we don't see no Australians here. Cause like I say, let's see. Hold up for a second, real quick.
Right.
Let's
You don't see no damn people that resemble Australians. And that's true. They got a distinctive look that our people really don't carry. So, that being said, we're going to show you the difference between an American Negro and what the first American resembled comparative to what an Australian look like. But our people really don't carry. So, no man. And we and like they brother they once said, we would not tolerate disrespect, especially for no fucking wetbacks that's foreigners on my land, indoctrinated with the colonists indoctrination. So if they can't get it done with common sense, and the first steps of which that science is based off of, which is observation, you cannot observe and then report to yourself or to your peers on what you've seen. Can't deal with shit if you can only regurgitate what some goddamn idiot said trying to fit this narrative. You ain't no research. You're supposed to be a primary. We're not doing the work ourselves. The closest we get is becoming a fucking primary. Especially for no fucking wetback. So, we gave the guys a chance. They dropped the ball. We beat the shit and drove them goddamn mongoloids up their teeth. Goddamn giggles up. I get a hashtag up in her family. Hashtag.
Hey, yo, Mike, AP.
What's up?
Your mic sound kind of funny, yo.
Hold on.
You're AP.
Hold on. Let me see what I can do. Yo, can you hear me now?
Nah, I got a lot of noise in the background. Hold on for 1 second. Let me see. It's echoing. I don't know why the fuck this shit be doing. All right, that's my bad, y'all. It's echoing.
Is it still echoing, my brother?
You good now, bro? You good?
Is it still echoing?
Nah, you good now, AP.
Yeah, but like I was saying, we beat the crap out of the Mongoloids with simple information, and We burnt down the TPs and we drug them motherfuckers out and exposed them for who they truly is. So, that was just a simple beat down. And anybody that feel like they in opposition of anything that we've been teaching and implementing to strengthening our people, then just hit us up. We more than likely to take on the next group of people, challengers, and have this discussion. And I'll be more than welcome to put you in the back of the class in the corner so you can sit down and learn some shit. Like I said, can I get a hashtag to get this up?
Pretty much so. All right. So what I was showing y'all was this. Now these people are Australian, right? You know the funny thing is, when I Google people of Australia, right, fucking crackers came up, right? I mean, we know these niggas is fucking demons, man. But when I Googled it, some fucking crackers came up, right? Now, you tell me like this, right? You see anybody here now out of the 3 different people that James Chatter said that he's seen here? Do you see any here who resemble these people? I don't know if y'all see that good. I don't see no people here that resemble these people at all. Like I said, and they got a distinctive look with them. You understand? Now, we know that some of the Australians don't all look like that. Most part, look at them. You don't see nobody here that look like. We would know if these people was Australianoids or not. Look how these people look. I don't see no black people here look like. I'm gonna say me, him, but these motherfuckers, look at their hair texture. Look at the texture of their hair. You understand what I'm saying? So we can easily dismiss this claim right here. This is a diversion claim to say that the people here was Australianoids because the hair. None of us have hair like this. You know what I'm saying? None of us have hair like this, and none of us have these sharp looks. You understand what I'm saying? Now we go here to South Pacific Islanders. We do look like these people, even though we know we can see where the different mixes came in. Look, this nigga look like Mos Def. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you look at these people, look, these niggas look just like us. You understand? This brother right here. These people got distinctive looks, man. This is South Pacific Island. Look at, see this? Now, he looked like a Spaniard, of course, because we know that in some of these islands there are Asian influences. All right, and that came later, the same way how you see in Hawaii. Like in Hawaii, the people who was there prior to the Japanese coming in was Negroes, or people who they considered to be Negroes. And then you see this all through this. So the people of Hawaii, did they come from Africa? Why the fuck the only people that they say came from Africa is people in North America? Everybody else they say distinct are descendants of people who might have left from Africa. But think about it like this, right? Like I was telling you about the people with Senegalese, them people that they found out there that killed that missionary, right? Do you honestly believe that you're going to leave from an area where it's highly populated with food, or you got water and all this, and it wasn't, and think of it like this, and then going in so-called Africa region, okay? Now, only way you're going to leave if there's some type of catastrophic event for you to move or migrate to another or different location. You're not going to leave an area. If you got a house, right, and your house got everything in it, you just going to get up and leave your house. Now, people do move from place to place because we living in a time right now where you can buy most of your resources from you know what I'm saying, somebody who distributed, or you know what I'm saying, or you can pretty much find a local market that has, you know what I'm saying, nutritional things such as food, water. You know, you can buy most of these things from markets now. But prior to having markets, human beings set up in areas where it was abundant full of resources. And what most people would do is go out on a recon mission. So you would send a few people out to say, all right, well, look, you know, we might be having some catastrophic events coming. Like if you live somewhere with a volcano, or somewhere where tsunamis or earthquakes, you know what I'm saying, it's a high chance for that. You might send one of your people of the tribe out on a recognizance mission to go ahead and find out whether or not there's other inhabitable lands that's, you know what I'm saying, that's succeed where you living at. So there's somebody to go all the way in the fucking middle of the ocean, all the way on the other side of the continent. It just doesn't make sense. And for people to just might be migrating, living in Hawaii, living in all these different places, we've been lied to, bro. It was black people on every fucking square inch of the fucking planet, okay? And these different, when they tell you with DNA, we know that DNA do not exist. I'm going to read this same article that I read yesterday. There's no DNA that links you to any Native Americans because they're not even linking the Native Americans to any bone. What they do is most of these skeletons, like the Kendrick man, Naya, Luzia, the Broad woman, numerous other artifacts that they found here, skeleton remains and everything. The Native Americans take this shit before anybody can test them. Okay? It's so funny that you DNA that's older than any DNA here on this continent. You understand? So when you start understanding that, you know what I'm saying, you start looking at the inconsistencies to the lies. Now, real quick, right? Now, let me get real quick. We want, you know, and as we know, these are the different people in Africa for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think nobody rolling like this.
Come on,
I don't think
Sonetta.
nobody doing it.
Sonetta, your uncle look like that with that hockey puck in his lip.
Nobody doing it like that, man. Like I said, and the funny thing is, you know what? The funny thing is that we got our own unique culture here.
Hold
Culture in North America.
Go back to that one. He looked like a brother I seen in America. He looked like Brother Larry.
This is what I forgot this brother's name right here. I forgot his name or whatever though, but yeah, man. Like for the most part, you don't see none of these people. I don't know where the fuck this is right here. Mute your mic. Yo, who that? Mute your mic, man. That shit loud as hell, bro.
Yeah, I'm muting niggas today. Niggas get wrong, I'm muting everybody.
You see these dreadlocks they got in Africa? These don't look nothing like anything that we ever seen here. You understand? We ain't got none of this culture, the people you see there in Africa. And like I said, I'm just saying, as far as the physiognomy, what the people look like, we can say that we do look like some of these people. Now, look at this. If I had to wake up to a chick look like that, man, I'd be freaked out. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, that's just a little joke. Little joke. But let me just show y'all something, right? Because obviously the brothers like the brother Thompson, this one couldn't comprehend common sense. You understand what I'm saying? And let me see something. What the fuck? Hold up. Give me a second, y'all. Let me reboot this shit real quick. Alright, let me see something real quick. Let me just show y'all something. Let me just make a point real quick. Guess it's still loading up. Alright, so here we go. And like I said, this is a group right here as far as like descriptive terms, and if you need to understand, like I said, I pulled up 4 different articles yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? And these are people who got a lot to lose by making the claims that they making. You understand what I'm saying? So this is in the 1800s. Now, this idiot went on to say to me, right? Now look, right here. It says it cannot be questioned that the physical diversities do occur, equally singular and inexplicable, seen in different shades or colors, varying from a fair tint to a complexion almost black. And this under two no, and this too under circumstances in which climate can have little or no influence. So also the reference to stature, the differences are remarkable in the entire tribes. Moreover, the geographical proximate to each other. These facts, however, are the mere exception to the general rule and do not alter the peculiar physiognomy of Indian, which is an deviatingly characteristics of that of the Negro. Now, I thought I didn't know what the fuck the word deviate means. Okay, deviate means to go away from something. So if you deviate from a question, you're trying to go away. So the word deviate, to stray from a standard principle or topic, which they did. They deviated from the topic because they didn't want this work, right? So now we know what the prefix "un" means. Just for just like I said, I don't say things verbatim. I use my own. I say shit. Basically, I summarize different arguments or according to how I see. Prefix meaning not. So if it's deviating, it's saying it's not deviating, and the Negro is the same. Now check this out. Now, just in case you need to know what the word physiognomy means, because physiognomy is basically touching directly needed to touch on. Give me a second. All right, so physiognomy. All right, it says the art of discovering temperature. We know it's not that. The facial features, health, quality of mind and character by creation of expression. Okay. Now I say the facial features. So it basically telling you physiognomy is dealing with the facial features. So when Samuel Mortensen says that the physiognomy of the Indian is that of the Negro, what the fuck do he mean by that? Deviatingly characteristics as that of the Negro. And then he go on to say, and he gives other examples, whether we see him in his athletic career or his stunning chama in the dark Californians or the fair barber, he is still an Indian and cannot be mistaken for any other being or any other race. Now he's saying that basically the term Negro is some shit that was created and we are that of the Indian. Now, when you present this to people who are programmed, because we done had these debates, and many of y'all who was on African American African people who was on Facebook having these debates with the Amin Ra Squad and this other fucking what the fuck is this bitch name? I'm sorry, I don't mean to call her bitch, but she is. I forgot her name. What the fuck is her name? She down with the Amin Ra Squad. Yo, she used to always pop in my inbox. What's your methodology? What's your methodology? Like, and that shit used to fucking irk me like so much. She used to always, what's your methodology? What's your methodology? My methodology is the simple scientific method. But then they want to sit there and say, well, hold up. The scientific method works because science is life. And part of science is observation. I've seen people or images that don't look consistent with the people here on this landmass, who they've been upholding to be so-called Indians all this time. Okay, now we know that people been saying it was black people here. So when I seen these images, that shit came. I started forming my hypothesis, which is saying, well, it had to be Negroes here. After further research of finding out that they enslaved 6 million Indians, and they don't so conveniently tell you that. See, they don't tell you that. Like I tell you, that is the motherfucking variable or the unknown factor to all of this shit. that they enslaved more people on this land than they brought so-called Africans here, and they enslaved these people in all the 13 colonies, because you can look pretty see exactly where the English was at. They was from Massachusetts to damn for fucking Alabama or Tennessee and down to Florida and everything, Louisiana. And it shows you that even the French sending people from here to the Caribbean, Santo Domingo. So that already shows that the French, that the people that's a large majority of them that wasn't already on the island Santo Domingo or Haiti came from the Louisiana region. And like that's proof. That's proof right there. To go with they enslaving people, you don't see these people on none of these reservations. You don't see these people that they enslaving on none of these fucking none of the fucking census. And then they either black or they white. We know that they wasn't white people. We know that they did enslave white people here. But the people that they considering white, and white is the status too after Bacon's rebellion. And I'm gonna do a video on Bacon's rebellion because a lot of people don't know that that's where them classifications came from, and how they stole white classification of how if they give the white man 2 pieces of rice, they give you 1 piece of rice, and the white man thought he was better than you because he got 2 pieces of rice to your 1. And that's just pretty much the same kind of system what's going on now, though. But when you dealing with people who just too smart, who just ride the white man nuts, like I said, look, it ain't too many black archaeologists or paleoscientists. There are a few, but it's not a lot of people who put in the research, and they pretty much going with the out of Africa theory. I don't believe the out of Africa theory, because the out of Africa theory is evolution. Anything you dealing with Lucy, a fucking monkey, and man supposed to came from her, that is fucking evolution. That's Darwin theory. You understand what I'm saying? I'm pretty much going with like what other anthropologists and archaeologists saying, such as Michael Cremore, and how he claimed that they was finding people that dates millions of years old or whatever, you know what I'm saying, in the Americas already. So that is that up. So, and like I said, remember this too, right? When you debating people, right? The motherfucker Raul, this nigga probably, but he wouldn't tell us his credentials or what he went to school for, anything. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't tell us. He wasn't an archaeologist. He wasn't a paleoscientist. He just learned the terms like anybody else can learn it who read and comprehend. Okay? Now, for him to challenge someone such as James Chatter, because think about it like this, y'all. Why would Mr. Chatter say an outlandish statement when you got other people like Samuel Mortensen, you got the same people that you find in this article right here, and these niggas lied right here. They sit there and say, oh, it was only 2 people. No, it was 68. It was 68 skulls that they compared all these shits with. You understand what I'm saying? And like, you know, like my mic kept muting or whatever. That's why I wasn't answering as fast as I wanted to answer. But I done read this shit hundreds of times, man. And it's telling you that these supposed to be our so-called mounds that they found. But he said he gonna say no, these are Negro mounds. Okay? And he said, man, for the most part, look, range of Virginia Virgin Island males. And I say 5. It's saying Barbados males. It's saying range of Gabon Negro. This is in the Caribbean too, I believe. This is not Africa. This is in the Caribbean too, because this is where they was taking people at. They was taking people to Gabon. Is anybody familiar with that? Let me do some research. Let me see something.
Gabon.
That's in the Caribbean, man.
I thought it said Gabon.
I heard Gabon.
They try to say it's Africa, right? But let me see something. It says located on the Atlantic coast. All right. But we need to do some more research on that. All right. But for the most part, when you go down, it tells you. You just gotta read it and pretty much understand what they where they going with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like I said, man, they found massive different skeletons out there, such as Luzia and all these other skeletons. So none of this. So these motherfuckers is all lying. All these anthropologists and archaeologists who got a lot to lose. That in some of these articles, it dates back before they was even thinking about any fucking DNA. You understand what I'm saying? But people don't want to, because they just want to come up and keep on going with what academia. Fuck academia. Academia would tell you that you fucking migrated from a damn monkey. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not able to use your brain and use the people who qualify. Now, like I was telling your light man earlier or whatever, when you deal with research, right? There's quantitative and qualitative research as well. Now, qualitative will be what's the quality of the research that you found, and in this case right here, it will be what the credentials of the people who basically agreeing with what your views are. What is the what's the name of James Chatter? What is the what's the name of Richard Neves? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are anthropologists and paleoscientists. He has a lot to lose by stating that the first Americans resemble Africans, Australians, and South Pacific Islands. He has a lot to lose, according to the people who he's, you know what I'm saying, that his contemporaries or his colleagues. He has a lot to lose by making that claim. He does this for a living. This is how he feed his family. You understand what I'm saying? So to have someone who's not qualified, such as just a regular layman, like I said, I'm not a paleontologist, I'm not an anthropologist, I'm not a paleoscientist. So I'm only going by what the evidence we done seen, according to what we seen thus far here in the Americas, okay? And according to the images, the pictures, and everything else that we have seen. You understand? So, like I said, the observation thing is the most important part. Along, you keep on finding other research that's showing you that we had to be already. The Native Americans that's living out there in the Southwest or whatever, they couldn't have been the people who they found in Virginia and North Carolina and Massachusetts and all these other places, because these people their culture been snatched away from them. Said, man, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. Like, as far as any debates or anybody who want to come forward with trying to always dispute something or trying to always make their claim and trying to always try to go against anything that we presenting, of course people don't want us to know that we was here. Because these motherfuckers who claiming to be Native American, that shit gonna make them look very foolish. They don't know where they came from. So of course they want to say, well, oh, we was the only people here. No, you wasn't. And in fact, many people say you just got here in the 1800s. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I want. I got some other brothers on the panel.
Guys, what up, though?
What up, though, man?
Yeah.
I got some heat, like, and if y'all want me to share it, man, just let me know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share it. If y'all give me the green light, I'm gonna share it, man.
Boy, shit.
All right, well, I talked to the homie Shadow Wolf not too long ago, and he gave me the proof, and he talked about how DNA tests they should look towards the bones, because DNA tests are relative, which means they looking at the people. You understand? And also, DNA tests, they throw you on sub-Saharan Africa, but the sub-Saharan, the heat side sub-Saharan travels to the Americas too. Like, we're right on the equator too, South America. You understand? So we gotta understand one thing. I'm about to show y'all what I'm talking about right now, though. Give me 1 second. All right. It's gonna be good. All right, hold on. 1 second. It's a dub. After this, nobody can't say nothing. All right. All right. So I got to make sure I tell us the right way, man, because if this is not understood, it's all over. So y'all can see my screen, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this is what I was sent right here. Okay. This is where all the bones are, all the older bones inside the world at, right here on this screen. You see this map right here? You see what it say KB1 and rise and all that stuff? I'm about to show you what that means. Right? So we talking about DNA. All right, so I'm gonna go to rise real quick. We'll see. Look at the thing again real quick. I'll show you something. Show you exactly what I'm talking about. Give me a second. All right, so it say rise 174, right? I'm gonna look that up on here, and it's gonna tell me where that's at. 174, Sweden. Just put it like this: everything on this list right here you looking at is none of this is Africa. None of this, right? None of this stuff is Africa. The oldest bones, but they take your DNA and they won't compare it to the oldest, to the bones. What you supposed to do it to? You understand? Like, because if you're gonna tell somebody that they from sub-Saharan Africa, there should be some bones inside there that they compare it to say that that's where you from. But they don't do that. But let me keep explaining this. Give me a second, right? Yeah. So if you're looking at the list, right? Look at this map real quick again. This is where all the oldest bones is at. Here's the map to correlate to that, right? This was where all the oldest bones is at, found in the world. None of these places say Africa. You see, none of these places, right? Hungary, Russia, Germany, all of this stuff. Now they could compare this to all your stuff because, they go Egypt right there, but it don't say sub-Sahara. You understand? Now we know that Russia was our territory too, right? Let me keep going real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right. Hold on. I got to do one more thing. Let me check. I got you. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let me check my email. All right. So I don't want to show too much of this stuff. But this, hopefully I got my man's, this right here is someone's DNA test, right? See this? Y'all looking? Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, bro. Keep rocking.
All right. So look at this. Look at this. This is what his DNA test came back. It say sub-Saharan 61, right? It say Paleo-African 12.76. Look how it keeps on going down, right? Now watch this. Check this shit out. This is where it get crazy. All right, so look. All right, so he says Limba, right? I'm pretty sure that's probably Africa right there, but it's only say 15%. You see that? This is what they comparing his stuff to say that he's sub-Saharan. But watch this though. Keep looking. So as you go down, the percentage of what he really is increases. They found some of his they found Ethiopian in him. They found Moroccan. They found Jew Ethiopian. They found Mozambique, Yemen. But then they found 70% Puerto Rican in him. They found 73% Egyptian in him. 74% Australian. Miwok, right? Look at this. All right. Hold on. But the numbers keep going up and it doesn't end up in Africa is what I'm trying to tell you, right? So now look at this right here. Now it says that he is Lumbee and all his Bantu whatever stuff, right? But Lumbee is North Carolina. You understand? All of this say Lumbee inside of his DNA, which is
I think that's the Limba tribe.
the right Lumbee tribe inside North Carolina. Is Native American. Now, you know what I'm saying? There's a Moor out there that deals with DNA. Her name is Kia Hashata Bay, right? and she actually took his DNA and related him to Dragon Canoe, and he got that confirmed, right? But check it out though. Most of this, Puerto Rican or even Mandinka, like I did my study on the Mandinka related to the Incas. If you ain't see it, then just put it like this: those people in West Africa migrated from Asia, and then Indians were sent to West Africa. So most of the people there are makeup of people that's not like totally fully African like that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. All right, man. I'm gonna come back to all of this. I'm gonna make one statement on this real quick. I know I'm telling it all wrong. My man probably going crazy. I should check the chat. But anyway, um, this article right here, Thomas E. Jordan, Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act of 2017. Y'all got to check this article out. This lady, and this happened last year, she has all the proof that since she was changed from color to from Indian to colored, that everybody in America that's colored, that was considered colored or mulatto or whatever, colored, like Negroes, they're Indians. But this, if you read this article, this proves all of that. Now let me go to this real quick. I don't know if y'all seen this before. They took somebody's DNA and compared it to a dog. Y'all seen this before? Hello? Hello?
Yo, you jumping the gun. Go back to the other thing. Go back to the other one with color and go stick with that.
Well,
No, the other article you pulled up when she said that all of the people here that, I mean, most of us know that. I mean, most people know that, but pull that article up and read some of that. You know what I'm saying? Because that could go with pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, my bad.
You know what I'm talking about? Now you good? I'm just saying, but don't go stick with that first before you go on to the other thing about the DNA thing. Yeah, because I mean, like that could lead us, because I got an article with the article that I pretty much touched on yesterday, and I got another article that's showing you that there is no DNA that proves you're a Native American. There is none, no DNA. They do blood quantum, they do that shit, and blood quantum is not proving you're a Native American either. But yeah, if you got something on that pretty much touch on the fact that colored people was classified, I touch on. But if you got another article, another source, that's something that can be useful. I would like to see that.
I feel you. Yeah, this is the only one I got right as now. And from what I read, I skimmed through it. This is a very, very long article. I mean, whatever it's called, article document. It's very, very long. You know what I'm saying? I was actually looking for the part where it says that she was classified as Indian, then switched to color or whatever, but I can't even locate it. But yeah, I'm gonna drop this in the chat so everybody else could check it out just to confirm what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the real deal anyway. But I'm gonna put it in the chat, man. But
Yeah, I mean that was the first Jim Crow, bro. I mean, I
but wait,
touched on that article a couple of times.
let me ask you something. Did you understand anything I just said about DNA and how they should use the bones, and that if they use the bones, our DNA will come back. It won't come back African. Did y'all understand that whole explanation I just did at all?
Well, because listen, it won't come back as nothing, because there's no such thing as ethnicity, man, or race, man. Race and ethnicity is made up, man. You understand what I'm saying? It was only one race of people here first, and all that they had in order to distinguish or describe other people of different places, or all the same place for that matter. Because remember, it was black people everywhere. Cambodia, fucking India, and Asia, in so-called what we consider Africa, in Russia, and Antarctica, in the Americas, and all these little islands in Hawaii. See, what they did was in the early 1900s was they went around and either started ethnic cleansing by mixing people in with you, or they killed a lot of you off and sent people back to Africa. This is what they don't tell you that they did, because part of, listen, when they part of, like when the when the European nations was pretty much fighting over world dominance from World War One. That's what World War One really was. It wasn't about nothing but European fighting over who was going to control what. Okay, and the British obviously won with the help of America. But what I'm saying is this, right? They was already going around the world and conducting ethnic cleansing, because in all of the world it was nothing but Negro. And AP,
I'm here, bro.
you got that article, the one you were saying about Benjamin Franklin? You need to
Yeah,
pull out if you got it.
I can't screen share, but I'm gonna drop it in the back so you can pull it up.
Give me the if you can't, just give me the what's name, and or you, if you got it, read a little bit, just so the people know or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll do that.
So we can pretty much.
Yeah,
We know that the whole world was black. That's why if they test, that's why they pick and choose who they want to test your DNA with. See, and like I told you, DNA is not going, just like the parentage DNA. The parentage, the matriarch or the patriarch is not going to pretty much tell you nothing, but it's just going to tell you the similar genetic traits that you have. Genetic traits are different markers that pretty much going to tell you, decide, like, because you might have bigger hands than your mother, you might have different genetic, differentials than anybody, unless you have a twin. Now, you have twins that might have, like, most of their DNA or most of their genes is similar because it's pretty much clone. Or you know what I'm saying? But even they, if they not identically twins, and even identical twins got differential. You can tell an identical twin from the other if you be around them long enough. But the other twins or whatever, they have their DNA sequence is similar, but it's still not going to tell you the race. They raised by the continent or whatever landmass that you was on. But like I told you, it was black people everywhere. So what they did with all these so-called black people, I believe, and sent them all to Africa. And if not, if they didn't send them all to Africa, because I don't believe that the people in Africa did, like we always discuss, in West Africa, we know that when the people from Sierra Leone got there, as well as the people from Liberia, the land wasn't even fertile. They had to redo the land because they got a letter from, what's my man name, AP, the one that was in Carolina that we always talk about,
Walter Perry.
The one that, no, not Walter Perry. What's the brother name that was sent, that was in the army in the 1700s or the 1800s, and he went to
Henry Equiana. Yeah, Henry
Equiana, exactly. Now, if you see his shit, you will see that when they got to Sierra Leone, they was complaining because they was like, yo, it's fucked up over here. Like, so if the land was so plush and it was so plentiful, why was it fucked up over there? If people was living there already. Like, if you certain parts of Africa, and I know people tell you, oh, it's beautiful in Africa, but it's not in all places. They pick and choose the places where they want to show you where the beauty is at. You know what I'm saying? They pick and choose. I know people say, oh, we've been to Africa before. You've been to certain regions. You've been to certain parts. You go to the whole thing, but nonetheless, though, you know, this is.
You're right.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're right. I was just piggybacking off what you said. You're right. And I was going to read a little bit of that Benjamin Franklin thing while I got it pulled up.
What?
The author that put together this was Helen Ansley Smith. In the year 1664, there were 7,000 Dutchmen beside the real Dutch. Pre Russians, Bohemians, French, Swedes, Norwegians, Danes, and 5,000 English, including Scots, Welsh, and Irish. Can I prove that these people were all black? Right? This is what Benjamin Franklin said. Yes, I can. See Benjamin Franklin essay, America as a Land of Opportunity in 1755. Benjamin Franklin later on write a book explaining how all these other ethnic groups was all black, from the goddamn 7,000 Dutch all the way down to the Irish. Why should Palatine Moors be suffered to sworn into the settlements? They were never adopted our customs, and more than they can obtain our complexity. All of these African, Asian, American are swarthy. Swarthy at that time meant black. Russian, Italian, Spain, French, Sweden, and the Germans are also black. This is surprisingly crazy. Our numbers are at a welching low. Everywhere you go on this planet, you run across blacks. This is a quote unquote from Benjamin Franklin. The principle: whites are made up of Saxons and the English. The Scots, Welsh, and the Irish are not, excuse me, let me scroll down, are not Saxons, are English. When Benjamin Franklin writes this essay in 1755, the black German king George II is sitting on the throne of England exactly the same time that he published this book. And that's all I got to say about that. And that's it. So I'll put it in the back chat so A1 can post it and share it for you guys as well. So what it's saying is, no matter what anybody's tell you, in contradiction of what anybody's telling you, the indigenous across the globe, across this plane of existence, always been heavily melanated, swarthy, Moor, or even Negro. Either one of those terms are descriptive terms to show the people of heavy melanation. So it's in the back, A1, if you want to take a look at that and screen share it. I yield the mic.
I'll get it up for you. AP, you talking about this right that's on the screen?
Yeah, that's it, brother.
You want me to throw that in the live chat?
Yes, you can also throw it in the live chat for the people as well. For the family as well. Apologize. You know y'all the family in the chat. Peace. Black Aboriginal power. To all y'all. Y'all know what it is.
I wonder where A1 went. See. A1 still with us, AP?
Now you can't hold it down without me.
Nah, I was just seeing where you went, man.
All that talk, what were you looking for me for? You do all that talking on Tribe Up, and you looking for me, man. Go ahead, mute your mic, man. I got something for y'all. Hold up. My man, no Jersey 77. That's my nigga. Look, let me show y'all something real quick. Yesterday, reading from an article, and when I asked the clown what the people of, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Fulga. How you pronounce that, Jersey something?
Fuego.
Fegwo.
Yeah,
Whatever.
fuego.
All right. He said to Pete, and clearly, this is what led up to me ejecting these motherfuckers, right? Because the motherfucker wasn't being sincere, right? Now, he said that the skeletons that they matched up to people that was in Fargo, right? Now look, it says a female savage of Terra de Fargo. Okay, it says engraven from a drawing of Joanne from whatever, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little tongue twisted today, but this is from 1794. All right. So Ebenezer Sibley, Universal System of Natural History from 1794. Sorry about that. Excuse me. It say all the southernmost tip of South America mainland across the Strait and Magellan and Archipelago is divided between Chile and Argentina. Right now, look. When I asked him, I said, so them people can be considered Negroes, right? He said, yeah, right. So I said, okay, so what is the point? This motherfucker gonna tell me, well, oh, the DNA is different. The DNA is telling that. I just had to grab my head, like, are you fucking retarded or are you dumb? Okay, when Samuel Mortensen said that the physiognomy of the Indian is that of Negro, you think he was taking DNA tests, or you think he was using observation? These motherfuckers look alike. So if you look alike, you telling me because your DNA comes up according to what these people they say, oh, so this person could be of a different, there's no race or ethnicity outside of people's opinion. Opinion is what created race and ethnicity. Okay? So these are all names and they use to describe you as, okay? So what I'm saying is this is a Negro right here, okay? You can call it what you want. You can say it's a picture. You can say whatever. But this is from 1794. So if he's saying that they use skulls from this region of the planet and these people came back and matched with them, what is these people right here called? And like I told him, it was black people all around the fucking world. So maybe that's the reason why it's popping up the way it's popping up, because it was Negroes everywhere. You understand? Now look, here you go, another picture.
Right.
See this?
That ain't just our word. This is a historical document from several different Europeans on pale faces that the world was totally populated with black people everywhere.
Exactly. You see this right here? He got a bone arrow. Brother got an afro like us. Okay. He look similar to, let me see. Don't he look similar to this brother right here in the South Pacific Islanders? Okay. Now look, like I said, man, it don't take much to figure this shit out. Okay. This man right here, James Chatter, gave you the science. He gave you the science and he gave you the term of what the people in America look like. Right. This is South Pacific Island. This motherfucker look like Jim Brown or what's the other brother name? The one played in Starsky and Hutch, the captain and shit, or the one that used to play in Hell Up in Harlem. Fred Williamson. Or he looked like Fred Williamson. He looked like motherfucking Jim Kelly. He looked like he looked a number of different Negroes, y'all. Okay. Now, do they not have similar features? If you were to see this guy right here and you was to look at him and you would say, damn, he looked similar to people in South Pacific Islanders. We look more like the people in South Pacific Islanders than we do in Africa, than we do Africans. Because we wore our hair out like these Afro. You don't see people in Africa wearing Afros. But they try to use that word, oh, Afro, and make you think because the word Afro is connect Africans, but Africans don't even wear Afros. You understand? So like I said, look, it go to people in Africa. I mean, you got motherfuckers with plates in their lips. And I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody culture over there. But look, look at most of the African brothers over there. Look, you see any? Look, let me right here. Here we go. See any Afro on any of these people? And they all different. You got real dark-skinned people, look like this brother. Then you got light brown-looking people. You got people who look like they mulattoes, such as this brother right here. But look at, just take a good look at the people right here of so-called Africa. Okay, now I say if we had to pick and choose some of these people who we would consider we look like, I would say probably her. I would say probably him. I say her. I say Negroes look like her in America. Him definitely. This brother right here. I done seen brothers dark like this that was in the Caribbean or whatever, not with the plates and all that shit, whatever. But like I said, the most part, you don't see people with afros, man. You know what I'm saying? So we don't these motherfuckers. Like I said, you have to. This is part of a methodology. Is observation. We don't look like no Australians. You don't see people here that look like Australians. No African Americans look like this, man. No African Americans look like this, and this is facts, man. We could say, oh well, that's a deviation tool according to them. They will when you have to compare these people here that they call Negroes, you would compare them to a Australian because they know that the Australians don't look like us. But even when you look at this image right here, lose it, and they try to tell you, oh, you know, she was Australianoid or Australianoid, right? Do she look like a fucking Australianoid? Does she look anything like an Australianoid? They would took the time to give her like little twists, little locks in her head.
Hey, okay? Put it on your screen, bro. Put it on your screen.
Can't see. I can't. Y'all can't see nothing?
Nuh-uh. We only can see black man's screen.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Y'all, my bad. Let me see something. My bad. Let's go back then. My bad. And why y'all ain't tell me that, man? I mean, good, Jack. Peace, Jack.
I thought it was showing your screen.
And
yo, Chiefs.
Man, you on Facebook, man.
They go Chiefs.
Peace. Hey,
peace.
Hey, good evening.
You see, it's the images right here that I was showing y'all. That's Chief just came in the building, right? And these are okay. Now, like I said, we look like some of these people up here, okay? But for the most part, like I said, if we had to pick and choose, right, we don't look like no motherfucking Australians, man. You don't see no people here who look like this with this texture hair, yo. Because none of us, okay, if you want to say a few of us might have straight hair, okay, I can rock. Or I say, okay, a few of y'all might have hair that might be of a lighter type, but the majority of us, 90%, 99% of us got the fucking, our hair can get like this. Our hair can get like this. Now, if you look at this brother, I'm sorry, y'all missed the whole thing. So look at this brother right here. This brother look just like the people of what this nigga said, Fugre, whatever, however you pronounce it. He said that one of the skeletons that they found matched with the people here. And I asked him, I said, well, what do them people look like? I said, can the people that's in that region, South America, possibly be classified as a Negro? He said yes, right? So then when I said, well, you just proved my point. This nigga said, he said, no, you're an idiot. He said, because their DNA come back as something else. I'm like, what? Who's the idiot? Like I said, when Samuel Mortensen, when he was doing the physiognomy and the cranium and looking at the facial features, he ain't know nothing about no fucking blood type. The blood, you think the white man, when he look at you, he said, well, damn, well, let's your blood type to see if you a Negro or not. No, he go by the way you look. He go by your physiognomy. That's what they go by. They go by looks, okay? And the same thing when you show people these images, sit there and tell you, well, no, well, they don't look like the same. Even we go ahead, man. We start dealing with this, man. These mirrors that's in fuck good. That's, you know what I'm saying? When you start with these mirrors and shit, let me see. Hold up. It's taking a minute to click on. We start dealing with these mirrors. These motherfuckers don't look like that bastard Raul, that motherfucking European mutt. He don't look nothing. They don't look nothing like him. So he can't even find himself in the country. They don't look like, he don't look like an Olmec. He don't look like the people that they paint here. He don't look like the motherfucking Let me see that I had a bomb apart mirrors up here.
You don't look like none of the people that the ancient people look like. And A1, it's people up in the chat. Yeah, they don't look like none of them. Yo, A1, people in the chat, man, they want to get on the panel, man.
Who?
I think it's a dude and it's a woman. Let me see. Hold on. Truth. Let me see. Forgot her name. But yeah, some people in the chat, they want the invite.
All right, hold up.
Truth Searcher. That's her name. Truth Searcher.
All right, hold up. I'm about to put my email right here. How many slots we got? You're gonna have to close one of your screens out.
All right, I'm gonna close one of them out.
Yo, send your email to my email right here. And I'm gonna send you the invite through your email. Just send it right to my email now. And I'm gonna send it. Let me see something. Where the fuck everybody go?
Who? Oh, Jag.
I said, where did everybody?
Oh, and Chief,
what Chief Holiday went?
I don't know. They probably kicked by accident.
But send your email right there.
I'm gonna send it.
But yeah, like I said,
no,
like I was saying though, when you and most of the people who've been on Facebook know we've been going back and forth with the Amin Ra squad. They know that motherfucker Joseph Flores, and didn't seen him before. And like I said, a lot of you motherfuckers though. But this is one of the images of the people they found in America. Okay, now look, what do these people look like? Okay, like I said, I just showed you, and you have to use observation. Don't let nobody tell you that observation is not credible, because that's the reason why the Most High gave you eyes. He gave you eyes so you'll be able to look. Let me see something. That's a lot of people on tonight. Like I said, y'all want to come on? Just send your email to that email I just put up there, my email, and I'll just send you the link through your email. But like I said, man, at the end of the day, and then even when we dealing with this, man. Hold up, let me see something real quick.
Yo, A1.
Yes, sir.
You want me to send a link to that old girl? I mean, she probably gonna hit you up so you can send her the link. But do you want me to just send her the link?
How you gonna send her the link?
I'm gonna get the link and then I'm gonna share it to her email.
I would love to be invited. Let me see something. Oh, give me 1 second. Hold on. I mean, you can send it to her. You know how to send it to her right now without even having her information.
I got her email.
All right, well, send it to her then.
All right.
Just don't put it in the back chat, because I don't want anybody just coming on and then somebody fucking, hijack the page. Because it be trolls and shit around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't want that. We ain't getting that tonight.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit of this. I got 2 articles I want to run through real quick. and we just going to go run through this or whatever. And those of you who seen my DNA, there's no DNA that connects Black Americans to Native Americans. Some of this stuff I read, but fuck it, let me update it. I'm gonna update it. All right. So this is an article you get. There's no DNA test to prove that you're Native American. DNA testing, mute your mic. DNA testing is changing how Native Americans think about tribal memberships. And anthropologist Kim Tallbear warns genetic tests are blunt tools. She tells Linda Geddes it's a why tribal identity is not just a matter of blood ties. All right, because they want this to keep us out.
I know where your charger is.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, so look, mute your mic for me, sis. How you doing? In Sucks reservation in South Dakota. They say, how did Native Americans view tribal membership? They say back then, before the Second World War, most Native Americans lived on reservations. Biological children will be enrolled as tribal members. They say, but so would adopted children and spouses. They say if you was legally married. But as some people moved away until urban areas, tribes started to get more rigorous about documentation. That's when they all started to move towards only enrolling biological relatives. They say they were trying to figure out a way to maintain a tribal population when everybody was living so far away. How did this determine which people are legitimate blood biological relatives? They started to focus on what's known as blood quantity. They say as a way of counting ancestors who were enrolled in Native American. Most U.S. tribes, you have a specific blood quantum needed for enrollment, often 1/4. That means you have to be able to show your presentation that you have one of your 4 grandparents who is full-blooded. I say, or you might have 2 grandparents who are half-blooded. However, you can make those fractions work. Has DNA testing changed things more recently? I think the root cause of recent changes isn't DNA testing, but gaming. It's because Native American reservations doesn't necessarily have to adhere to all of the laws of the United States in which they are located, namely gambling laws. Say during the 70s and 80s, some tribes started building bingo halls and casinos on the land. It's in some of the more successful gaming tribes, individual members receive dividends on a monthly basis. And those, in a very few tribes, I've heard a payment in excess of $1 million a year. It's with that kind of money, you're going to get very vigorous DNA testing. All right, so let me conclude. Let me keep on moving. So it says, has DNA tests changed things more recently? I think the root cause of the recent changes isn't DNA, but gaming. Hold on, I'm sorry. I read that part. My bad, y'all. All right, right here. Say also people think any tribe with casinos give a huge per capita payment. So tribal enrollment director all over the country are bombarded with applications. It says, so how do tribes use DNA testing to determine membership? It depends. The tribe I'm enrolled in does DNA testing and trace parentage. It but only on new applications. However, some tribes will go back and test everyone. Of course, any population where you do that, you're going to find a misattributed paternity. And some tribes disenroll descendants. Say your biological father is who you think he is. Then you can get disenrolled. This happens in some tribes in the United States. Is this dangerous for tribal identity? All parenting test does is whether your parents is biological parents or not. I feel that's dangerous in the long run because there are a conflation going on, the conflation going on in people's mind of parenting testing. Say with genetic ancestry testing, people think there's a DNA test that can prove if someone is a Native American, and there just isn't. People think that there's a, okay, this is just basically saying what she's saying. Let me just finish it up and say, which members of tribal communities are most affected by the use of DNA testing? We have a lot of adopted children in our community. That's a result of Indian Child Welfare Act, which gives enrolled tribal members the first right to adapt the Native American children. The forcibly out adoption of Native children used to be part of the U.S. policy. So the act was a way of keeping children in the community and include culture. I think we should enroll adopted children as well as biological children. I would also like to see us go back to spouses. We should look at the citizenship countries, allow for immigration and have laws that deal with naturalization and new citizens. I think tribes should do that and should do that. So tribe identity is about culture as well as biology. I want to be careful with the argument that it's culture versus biology, biologic. To say it's also political authority versus biology. They say we have dated among ourselves about whether being Native American is being a citizen of your tribe, political destination, or about culture or traditional practices. I tend to come down on the side of political citizenship. It's true that it's about more than blood. Culture matters, but political autonomy matters too. And that helps produce a space in which our culture traditions can thrive. Interesting, right? So let me see something. All right. Let me finish it up. So it say, do genetic tests claim to prove Native American ancestor worry you? It say, I worry about the way Native American identity get represented as this purely racial category by some of the companies marketing these tests. The story is so much complicated than that. It say, what do you think of the idea of ancestry testing? It's so seductive. That's a great, there's a great desire by many people in the U.S. to feel like you belong to this land. I recently moved to Texas, and many of white people I met, I met in quotations, I got Cherokee ancestry. Say a lot of nonprofit groups have also sprung up calling themselves Cherokee tribes. They say, but they're more like a club. They don't have tribal status in the way that federally recognized tribes do. It says, do you identify yourself as a Cherokee in your soul and spirit? That worries us in a land where you already feel there's very little understanding about history of lost tribes, our relationship with colonial powers and conditions of our lives now. How it says, has ancestry testing thrown up any surprises? All right, let me see something. Let me see how much longer. Okay, I'm almost done, y'all. So just all right, we're right here. So all right, so they say the Seekonk Wapanaki tribe in Massachusetts is one of the few I know of that has used genetic ancestry tests. They found they have African and European genetic lineage mixed in. They say, however, I think anybody who knows Native American history would not be surprised at the way their DNA test result came out. Native people in that part of the country has been intermarrying with descendants of Europeans and African people since the 1600s. What that is that being a member of a Native American tribe cannot be seen as a total biological. It's there have been a lot of interest in trying to trace a migration of people into the Americas. Why has that been so controversial. Say, I think it's a suspicion by many Native Americans, the scientists who largely not Native Americans, want to turn our history into another immigration narrative that say we all really we're all really immigrants. It say we're equal. You have no special claim to nothing. Now that's interesting, right there. You want to touch on that? It said there are also traditional people who don't want to have any molecular narrative of history shoved down their throats. They would prefer to they would prefer the tribal creation stories that root us in the landscapes we came from. I'm concluding right here. It say, given the right insights about the extent of genetic mixing between different groups, do tribes still matter? So I think we need to stop conflating the concept of a tribe with a racial group. I and many of my relatives have non-native fathers. They say, yet we have strong sense of being Dakota. Now, see, this is how they do it. They try to say if you got the culture, then they have pretty much fucked us out of existence when it comes to this, because of the fact that we've been colonized, the fact that we've been colonized so long that we lost any of art, such as being an African American or Black American, Negro, or color. But let me conclude, say, because we was raised in extended Dakota kin group, we have a particular culture identity based in the land that we hold to be sacred. It's what gives us our lives meaning. It's what makes us who we are. All right, that's Kim Tallbear. Okay, and like I said, what they do is, even when you're dealing with the Wapanaki, if I pull up a picture of the Wapanaki right here, it's only going to show you mulattoes. It's going to show you black people, white people, and mulattoes. So where's these Native American people? Who was the original? We know that the white man is not Native. Okay, you're saying that the black man is not Native. So who else did these people mix with? This is how you know that they lying, but this is why she also telling you that there is no DNA testing, because they saying when they testing, doing DNA testing, they finding European as well as so-called African genetic strands. Okay, but we already know that this is all a psyops, so we won't be able to claim it, because basically they're saying, well, you have no culture, you've been assimilating to European, United States or European United States culture since the 1600s. All right. So this is the reason why I say myself that I'm an Aborigine. I'm first inhabitants. Okay. I've been my culture has been, you know what I'm saying, interrupted by Europeans coming here that wanted to take the land from us, and basically wanted us to assimilate into what they wanted, because as long as we was Indians, meaning that we wasn't going to give up our land. But if we become part of them, then we will all assimilate and live amongst them. But we already know how that works, because they practice racism as well. So, I got another article in which I read yesterday, but before I read this, let me see. We have a new guest on the panel.
What's good, family? I ain't no female. That's my daughter in the picture. First off, man, I do want to say I've been watching you for a while, man. I appreciate all the work that you put in. Man, y'all be out there dropping some real knowledge, man. So, every time y'all drop, I check out the channel. You feel me? So it's much love to everybody on the panel. Peace to the tribes, no matter what nation you come from the Americas. And, if you let me, I just want to touch on a few things, a couple of topics you discussed today.
Sure, go ahead. I'm gonna mute my mic. Just introduce yourself to the people. Also, let the people know how you found out that you was an Aborigine in North America.
All right, bet. My name on here is Truth Searcher, but my real name is Travis. I come from Mississippi. I stay in Chicago now, but I was born and raised in the land of my ancestors. Even since a kid, I was always told that we had Choctaw in our blood. You know, my great grandmother was a full-blooded Sholto, tall, dark-skinned, long hair, and my great grandfather was Chickasaw and German. So you know, I do have to put that out there that you know I do have some European blood in me as well, but I connect to my tribe. That's who I subscribe to. You know, like I say, since a kid, I was always told about that, but I never knew the extent of it, you know, growing up until I got a little bit older. And when we moved to Chicago, and when I moved to Chicago, that's when I started finding out about like all the Pan African shit. They was shoving that shit down our throat. The school I went to was called Alex Haley, and you know, we all know about that. You know, he was sued for making that Roots movie as reality when it was based on that fictitious book, the African. But you know, as I got older, you know, I'm just a searcher of knowledge and truth. And you know, I have nothing against, you know, no Africans or any other black people, but you know, this is who we is. And my main issue has been is that, you know, these niggas are bang on the white man all day and be like, you know, black folks was all four corners of this earth. And you be like, yeah, brother, I agree with you, but my peoples is from here. Oh no, fuck that. You African, just like Jabari, you know, when Phoenix Moon was on there, she's showing them actual paperwork, showing how she traced her ancestors. But he still go out his way deliberately to try to call us an African. And when he showed that book about his genealogy, that shit looked like some homemade Office Max printed, laminated copy shit. And honestly, I just don't believe that. But you know, the main thing that really gets me with these motherfuckers is they stay going with that, especially Sarnetta, you know. So did you get your DNA test? Did you get your DNA test? Like, nah, fam. Why would I get a DNA test when 60 Minutes did a special on it where they had a scientist on there that basically debunked it and showed it where, you know, DNA is only relevant to paternal, you know, from the mother and the father to a child. Because the more you go back, the more that shit get diluted. And to sit here and say that you know exactly what tribe a person from going back 4, 5 generations, you know, the shit is basically, you know, it's an illusion. And it got to the point where the scientists who debunked it to the host bought it up to the owners of these testing sites where they basically was forced to admit, like, you know, yeah, it's only 0.0001% accurate, but, you know, everybody would like to know at least a little bit about where they come from. And, you know, we also on the episode, it showed where Oprah basically picked where she came from because she went on TV and said she was from Zulu. And the guy called the fucking office back, like, did you tell her she was from Zulu? And he was like, no, well, make sure she is from Zulu. So that right there alone, to me, debunked that whole DNA shit off back. You feel me? And then another thing is the out of Africa is called basically, even when they put it in the forefront and they started that, it was called the out of Africa theory. And, you know, just using common sense, theories can never be a fact. That's just a opinionated term of people stating what they believe, but they really don't have no evidence to prove that shit. But when you start looking at the archives of the people who first came here, the Spaniards and the French, and you look into that shit, you know, it basically describes who these people are. You feel me? And these people look like us. And, you know, like I always tell people, you know, man, you could put 200 black people in a room, 100 Africans and 100 black folks right here from America. And I'm guaranteed to get a 98% on that test, picking out where people come from. They don't fucking look like us. It's nothing personal to them, but they got them oblong looking ass heads. They afros don't grow like us. You feel me? They just don't look like us. Even when you just showed the picture of the original inhabitants of Australia, the motherfuckers don't look like us. If anything, them motherfuckers look like where the Neanderthal came from. They look like dark pictures of what they show as Neanderthal. So, you know, I just appreciate the fact that y'all come on here with some knowledge. And I hate the fact that, you know, like, you know, y'all try to go build with these brothers, but instead they try to ambush y'all and throw you all off topic instead of sticking to the facts and debunking the facts and coming with, you know, bullshit ass questions and bullshit ass statements, like when Jabari did that whole Russian theory shit. Like, come on, fam, get the fuck out of here, bro. Now we Russian agents. You
And
feel
you
me?
know
Like,
what though, my brother, listen. I mean, I ain't gonna cut you, but I just want to just correspond to that. You see, and what kind of idiot do you have to be to believe what the fuck he's saying, yo? Jabari is probably one of the worst scholars that I have up there. I think he should really. He making sound that it look bad, and I'm just saying, like, for him to say that we are Russian agents, somebody really wanted to really present something to where you got some people from Russian. Come on, are you serious, man? I'm looking in the chat room and people is really buying shit up. I'm like, yo, people is dumber than like, people is they think we are like trying to really like trying to get profit out of this. Listen, I just want to be recognized where I'm from. Now, some of the other legal ramifications is going to take place because you basically classify my ancestors as Negro and colored. You did that by your own choice, and they said it was illegal in the 60s. So what ramification or what redress of grievances are you going to do to fix that? Because if you cause a harm to me in which that basically deported me from my own land or whatever, and you're telling us that the people you classify Negroes and colors who said that they was Indians, okay, and you need to make a redress for that.
that's facts, brother.
So whether I do my own, I'm telling you, whether you do your own on your own, or whether you know what I'm saying, you just leave it alone, I do something. I plan on taking this shit to court. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying like, listen, I mean, it don't have to be everybody, but I'm doing my own shit. So like that's supposed to be a class action lawsuit that if you got people who know that they was Indians, and most of us, like I said in my documentary, I'm interviewing people who just telling you that they fucking Indians, man. What reason we have to lie about this shit?
facts, bro. And that's the thing. You feel me? It's like, you know, you telling them like, okay, bro, like me, myself personally, I don't believe you from Africa. I believe you from here. But if that's where you want to be from, I respect that. But respect the right that, you know, I'm saying who the fuck I am. And they don't do that, you know, and I get into it with a lot of motherfuckers in the comments on YouTube because, you know, I speak my mind. And when I see bullshit, I address it. Like I got into it with a brother yesterday, you know, about that shit about what Jabari was saying. Then I made a comment. He commented like 2 weeks later about the shit. And like I told the dude, I was like, look, man, this is my issue. I'm telling you who I am. I know who the fuck my grandma is. I know who my great grandmother is. You know, I know the story, bro. You feel me? Like my uncle and my mom was raised by my great grandmother. My great grandmother got her last name because she was put in one of them Indian schools on Fort Bragg's. The reason why her last name was changed to Bragg's, and she has an updated birth certificate that now says Negroid, colored on her fucking birth certificate. You feel me? Like, why do she need an updated birth certificate? You feel me? Her and her sister escaped from the school. Now, what happened to their parents? That's the thing I'm still looking to try to find out. My great grandmother and grandfather, I don't know what happened, but you know, as people like, you know, like I try to tell people, everybody didn't go on that Trail of Tears. A lot of the peoples that went on that Trail of Tears was the half breeds. And, you know, just like the story that come about the first half breed in my tribe, it stated the reason why they wanted to kill a baby because they was afraid that it would grow up and take his father's side, which happened to a lot of our tribes. The half breed sided with their fathers, and that's the reason those was the ones who signed a lot of treaties. Hence, you know, the Cherokee, after they shit was signed, they beheaded the motherfucker. He was a half breed. They killed him. You feel me? He signed over their land rights. And you know, another thing, you know, as far as like you were saying, we cannot go about the fact like, oh, I'm Indian, you know, recognize me. Like, no, you got to know exactly what tribe you come from because they already know who the fuck you are. They just hoping that you cannot connect the dots to exactly who the fuck you are. And, you know, you got to be careful of that, especially with signing papers with them because they wordplay is on a whole nother level that our brain has been so diluted to the point where we might miss something. Like I always tell people, they be like, oh, well, why you not federally recognized? I don't want that money. Because once you accept that federally recognized money, like going out that Oklahoma money, you automatically sign away your indigenous rights. Because now they control you.
Do what they want you to do. That's right. They gotta. And look, you're right about that. But I'm gonna tell you too. For those of y'all who can't connect yourself back, all you got to do is find color on your birth certificate. Because understand it, let's be for real about this, all right? If we was enslaved here, right, and we was moved from different places, let's say, all right, let's just go with this theory, right? We was enslaved here, and they moved you from different place to place, right? All right, so now once they moved you off your original land and took you to another land, and you was raised as a Negro and as colored, then you grew up as that. And you can't trace yourself back. If you don't have no last name that connect yourself back to what region of the land that they took you from, then you got to connect yourself to whatever plantation or whatever land you was living at that point in time. Now, like I said, you have people who remember who they was because their family was telling them. But it's a lot of things that's kind of a little still kind of confusing, because when you do look at a lot of these congressional records and you look at a lot of the records that they got or whatever, it seems to me that it was slaves in some part, and as they conquering different tribes, it was people who they didn't know about who was free people, and these people were still able to keep their tribal existence. But they came and made sure you wasn't claiming that you was an Indian. And the more you claimed that you was an Indian, the more these motherfuckers got mad and they started lynching you and they started doing what they was doing to you, because they primarily wanted the land, man. And then, like I said, but it's a lot of brothers who can't find. It's 60 million of us here, bro. Out of 60 million of us, all of us is not going to be able to find out who the fuck we are. And yeah, that's something, but like I said, we're not gonna be able to find out who we are.
Yeah, that's fact, because they grouped us up in so many ways. As they pushed through the land, so many tribes got merged into each other. You feel me? Along the way, from the northeast coast all the way down to the southeast, and then they start pushing west, and they start mixing up so many tribes. And you know, man, and this is no disrespect to no religious person. I don't deal with religion. You know that I deal with spirituality. That's just me. But
religion ain't nothing but culture. You heard me? Religion. See, we deal with religion. This real quick. Let me just touch on that. And the sister who sent me the link, who sent me the email, I actually sent it to you. So if you want to come on in, I sent you the link. But when I say religion, remember, religion ain't nothing but culture. It's culture that's not understood. So if you went outside, let's say your tribe or whatever, your tribe went outside every day at 12 noon, and if you was earthing or you was indulging in some type of activity that you did repetitively, that you done on an everyday basis, and someone was studying that, they will consider that as a practice, because they don't really understand the practices. You could be going outside fucking just, you know what I'm saying, just going out to get some air. But they think that you out there worshiping some higher spirit. So when we say religion, remember, religion is just somebody else's culture, or culture that's not truly understood in some ways. That's how I look at religion.
Yeah,
so they say, well, you do this shit religiously.
No, I agree with you, brother. But you know, my theory is that they watched us and put what they thought we was doing in them books. And, you know, it was to gain our attention, because you got to remember, when they first came on the East Coast, they was cool with the Indians. But the fact that the Indians didn't want to adapt to their culture, that's what pissed them off. And, you know, and a lot of our peoples weren't slaves. It was more uprisings than what they speak on. They just don't want you to know that, because they don't want that warrior spirit. Because once you hear it, it automatically is coded in your DNA. And it'll come out. So they want you to be submissive, and they want you to just think slaves and roots and shit. Like, no, we was POWs, and they sent a lot of us over to Europe and Africa. You feel me? After they won the battles they had, you know, that's why you got a lot of black folks in Europe that look like us, but they think they African too, when they really don't have no connection to Africa. You feel me? So I just like the main thing that I'm speaking on, and this is no disrespect to them at all, because on some trail shit, you know, Isaiah, the Duke of Tyr, I respect that brother and the knowledge he got, and I love knowledge. I love it. But we gotta remember, bro, the Moors traded on their mothers and daddies in Africa. And then they also traded on us when they showed the motherfuckers how to get here. And so when they talk about all that
brother.
Moorish, hold on one second, brother. Hold on one second. I'll be brief with this. So when they talk about all that Moorish documents connected to this land and the treaties they got with the government, that's because they both came over here with the same goal. They wanted this land for themselves, but the white man, as usual, double-crossed their ass. You feel me? And they was thrown into those POW camps as well. You feel me? Like, my peoples don't know nothing of, like I say, I never knew nothing of no more. You know, not really Islam, etc. Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. You know, of course, it's Christian church and Baptist churches all in the South. But, you know, I didn't really know nothing about no Pan-African shit until I went to Chicago. When I was raised in the South, all I knew was of the land, and we was always there. You feel me? It wasn't no stories or none of that. Like, you know, the slave story, yeah, because it was, you know, it was taught to us in the schools because the schools is institutionalized. And once again, how the fuck you expect your enemy to teach your kids the truth? They don't want your kids to know the truth. And, you know, like I said, that's no shot at them brothers. Like, the information them brothers come with when it comes to dealing with specific shit, you feel me? Like, I respect it when it come on a factual level. But when they start trying to say that my peoples were Moors or whatever, if your peoples was Moors and you can prove that, fine. I know my people wasn't no Moors. You feel me? It was never no Moorish story told to my people whatsoever that was passed down, because all the stuff that I know was orally passed down from my, you know, from my uncles, my great uncles, my great aunties, my grandmother. You feel me? That's how I knew about it. Other than that, if they never told me this shit, I would have, you know, I'd be over there on Sinetta channel and shit, you know, talking about some Kemet shit.
Mm-hmm. But see, all right, look. So when you deal with the Moors, what you got to understand is this, right? You had this thing here. When you really look at it, you got tribes, and then you got people. You got tribes, and you got different other working parts of government here in this country. Okay, so when I say Moors, okay, see, a lot of people get the Moorish Science Temple mixed up with a description term calling people. Okay, so there was no traditional Moors that was in antiquity. It was probably European people who was black. We consider these black Europeans, Negro Europeans, colored Europeans, but I kind of reserve that right to leave that hanging out there, because in my study of the Timaraka, yo, it's so much shit that is unknown here in this country, bro. Even when you look at the origins, people say Turtle Island, but when you go back to antiquity, some people was considering this to be Timaraka or Amur. We don't know where this prefix Amur came from. So what I'm just saying to you is, don't let the Moorish Science Temple get you mixed up with the Moors of antiquity. Yeah, we know after the after Andalusia, because remember, it wasn't Spain, it was Andalusia. Right. So them people was never from Africa. See, we assume that Moors went into Europe, and no, it was already black people there. The black people who we assume to be North Africans was already in Europe already to begin. Because if you look at the tip off of Africa, North Africa could easily be Portuguese, Spain, France. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it wasn't even called Africa. It wasn't even called Africa. So understand that. But what I'm saying is, don't look at the MSTA of America and let that depict what you think the Moors is. Yeah, there was people who bought, because it would understand this too. It was Moors that was coming back and forth here, as well as it was so-called what we consider to be Indians that went over there to Europe too.
Facts.
And after that shit fell, a lot of them came back. Yeah, but not just to do trade. It was brothers that was from here that just went over there too. But what I'm saying to you is this: understand this. After that shit fell, a lot of them came back. But we look at them as, you understand what I'm saying? We look at them as I'm gonna let you go, Chief. Hold on. Let me say this one last thing. We look at them as Moors because we don't understand. Now, if I pull up pictures right now of them calling Indians Moors. Now, listen, I know people gonna fuck with me about this shit, but you already know I don't care or whatever. I'm not telling nobody you a Fez wearing Moor, you a part of MST. No. I'm not saying that. It's a descriptive term, but there are some things that we don't understand according to what the word Amerique, that shit just sound real suspect to me in so many different ways. And when I was studying the Alberico, aka Americo Vespucci story, I was finding names of America that was T-M-A-R-A-C-A. And that shit spelled T-Maraca. And I done heard that shit so many times. And this was the region of Cuba and a certain part called Brazil right now. So, like I said, a lot of this stuff is like really, we still learning a lot of this stuff or whatever. But I don't let the whole get thrown out when people say that, oh, you was a Moor or whatever like that, because the word Moor is just another descriptive term of a colored person. That's all I look at it. I don't look if I don't fuck with no MSTA of America. I do recognize Timothy Drew. I did study Timothy Drew. Timothy Drew was an amazing man. Whether a lot of people agree with him or they don't agree with him, that's no one thing. It was nobody back in the 1930s that was telling you that you are home. Now, if you want to get that mixed up with people saying, "Oh well, the Century Act that was done in the 1700s," don't get that mixed up with that. Because, like I said, it was already people who left from here who over to Europe with their brothers over there and came back.
Yeah, that's why I was saying.
I'll let you go.
Nah, that's why I was saying, it wasn't no disrespect. And I brought up the brother I said, just to point out. And it's more of what you're saying as far as the Moorish temple science that I'm speaking on. I know, the term Moor meant black. And, I know our people not only went to Europe, but went to what is called Africa. And they used to come over here as well. We had a connection with everybody. You feel me? Now, whatever happened during that fall, I don't know. I'm still...
That's what I'm saying. So you understand what I'm saying? Because look, we were and that's what made the European venture out was the fact that because when the so-called what we call black Europeans, what you would consider to be Moors or whatever they was calling themselves over there, right? When they had a trading system over there, they had like they had markets and all this shit set up because people was traveling. When they say seafaring people, meaning they didn't fear the sea, meaning that they was traveling, going to different places, trading, saying, all right, well, look, you got this. Because understand this, right? Where the fuck you think people got cotton from? They had to be coming back to the Americas, as well as different other the coca leaves, all that shit, man.
Yeah.
So that showed you that people was coming here. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And like I said, a lot of these brothers that was going over, because when you look over there in Europe, you see people with turbans with bow and arrows. And a lot of these drawings and paintings these people got bow and arrows in their hand, man. The bow and arrow is indigenous to the America. They would try to tell you, oh well, Africa had bow and arrow. In certain parts they have bow and arrow. For the most part, they had spears. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding.
On some Zulu shit.
See most of them, exactly. Even a lot of these coats of arms that you see with people with bow and arrows are the people from the Americas. Dealing with John Hawkins and Sir Francis Drake and all of them. These are motherfuckers that was called like the Buccaneers and pirateers or privateers and people who was pirates. You know what I'm saying? These was people who they got from over here. A lot of us don't. We don't understand the history, and like I said, I don't understand it 100% neither. But it's just that, like, you know, a lot of people get the MSTA mixed up with people telling you, oh, you are more. Nah, I mean, my brother I said was wearing feathers in his head before anybody was even thinking about doing this shit, bro.
And
he
that
was wearing feathers in his. Yeah, bro. And listen, he just had a show on one of the Moorish channels last week, whatever. It's like 2.5 hours, bro. And he go in and he tell you about like a lot of people talking about Peru now or whatever, you know what I'm saying? About how Peru, like how we talk about Peru had these irrigation systems and we had agriculture over there and we had all this stuff. And like I said, Peru was the shit, as well as motherfucking the Mayans and all that shit. And the people who was traveling. So these Aborigines was going all over the place. So it wasn't just staying here, because people was coming from other places to visit us, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on. Go ahead, Chief.
All right. Hey, man, peace to everybody, man.
Peace, Chief.
Peace, brother. I don't know who this brother is. I just see truth. Peace to you, brother.
Thank
you. I say this, man. You know, a lot of the narratives, before I get into what I'm gonna get into, right? A lot of the information that we got is just created, is made up, is fake. It's not historically accurate. You understand what I'm saying? And I just give you a perfect example, right? When they talk about the Moors invaded Spain in AD, right? And they ran it for 700, and they was in, you know, Europe and all this other stuff, and they eventually ran them out in the 1400s, right? That's a goddamn lie. I mean, yes, displacing the black Aborigines of Europe, aka Northern Africa. Y'all see how this works? This is, yo. So they're telling the story in reverse. They're telling everything in reverse. They're just telling us lies. We went from Americas to there. Latin came from the Americas to there. This language, the science, the math, everything came from here to there. So when they talking this stuff, you have to account for, like, we have to reprogram the way we think. And you almost got to look at it like every time you hear a story, it's a goddamn lie. Like you almost got to be like, you know what? Who told the story? Oh, okay. So it's damn near the opposite of the fucking story. I know that sounds extreme, but if somebody's lying to you, then that means it's the opposite, motherfucker. They are lying to you. This entire planet is carbonated, Moorish, black, any goddamn thing that you could think of, but they're doing this thing called blackbirding to usurp your land. Now, I wanted this is what I would have got into these fools, and I would have never got off of it last night. And I need them to account for this. They are proud mestizos. That's M-E-S-T-I-Z-O. Okay? It means mixture. Generational mixing. Okay? This is this concept. This is the concept of white people, Europeans, coming to the Americas, right? And creating a mixed breeded people that they call mestizos. They are not the original people. They are mixed breeds of the original people of the land and the colonizer who came. This is a fact. You can look up any definition of it. You can look up the etymology of it, so on and so forth, and who all are considered mestizos. Not only are Mexicans considered mestizos and anybody south of the United States border, but also the ones that they created here. It is basically any mixed breeded person that was created by these European colonizers. Do y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all? That's French, that's Spanish, that's British. There's any other of these Europeans that created other races of people anywhere else, those people will be called mestizos. In America, that goes into what you would call miscegenation. Mestizo is in Spanish, Latin, and miscegenation has been translated to English. Okay? They created anti-miscegenation, I'm not gonna say laws, but definitely norms and whatever, where they started forbidding just socially even, the generational mixing of the Aborigine people and the white people that were coming here. Yep. Trying to preserve their race. See how this works? As well as to create a social, what I want to say, a power vacuum for them. This is what they did. I can go through it from the 1600s to where we are standing today, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and how they set this caste system up, not only in your mind, but in every walk of life that's going on. We allow the darker to be pushed down to the bottom, which is the original. And we allow those clowns to disrespect their granddaddies. See how this work? We their granddaddy. We their grandmamas. And you will respect us. And that's just what it is. And it's not a debate. It's not up for debate. You don't debate your grandchildren. You whoop that ass. And that's where I'm at, bro. Like, they can't get past the mestizo part. That's not debunkable. Period. And we're gonna argue about DNA from Luzia and Naya and all these other people, but these people are clearly saying, hey, this is a Negro face. I'm done. We don't have to talk no more. It's a Negro continent. Every archaeologist, every anthropologist, every conquistador, everybody that came and said this is a Negro continent. Why are you still talking dumb? Why are you? This is, if before it was mixed America, right? Mesoamerica. Before it was Mesoamerica, mestizo America, mixed America. What was it before it was mixed, dumbass? If you had the Ethiopian Sea coming here, well, you would obviously have to have Ethiopia or all these other things that would describe dark land, like Egypto-America. If you look up the term Egypto-America, it would predate Mesoamerica, motherfuckers. Bro, there's no more argument about this. Matter of fact, we're not having no more debates. We're only teaching y'all. We don't even put debate next to Aborigine. We're not having that no more.
I agree with you, brother. I think a lot of the stuff that we getting is basically opinionated facts, and that could never be 100% true. You know, I do go to the fact that, you know, when the European invaders came, how they described the people, because I look at it like they had no reason to lie. And right now it's a whole lot of lying going on that got us thinking that these old mongoloid looking motherfuckers is the original people. And we all know that ain't fact. And a lot of the truths that we've been taught is becoming to find out that the shit is just a theory. And the theory can never be fact as well. And, you know, like we always say, melanated people been all over this country, no matter if it's been Europe, Asia, you know, especially here in America, and of course in Africa, or what's known as Africa and the Caribbean islands and everything. No matter where you go, and no matter how whitewashed down the population has been, which some was done deliberately, you're still going to find the original black man or so-called black man in those areas, no matter where you go. You know, even in Mexico, you know, they show us Mexicans, whites, you know, they look pale and shit, but it's a lot of black Mexicans, especially in southern Mexican, like by Veracruz and stuff like that. You know, so I definitely agree with you, brother. A lot of the stuff that we've been taught has been pretty much a lie. And that's why, like me, myself, personally, I go off the fact of what I was told by my people, mostly. And, you know, and then I go searching for things as well. Like, you know, like the brother, Atontinus one was speaking about Asir the Ducatil. I respect that brother. I learned a lot from that brother as well. Like, you know, I never knew of the name of Washtenaw Empire and the Big Buffalo people until he sparked that name in my brain, and I went looking for it, you know? Like, I would have never known that, because you can't find that in no books. They won't teach you that shit in school. And them Indians out there in Oklahoma would definitely never speak on that shit. And, you know, it's fucked up because a lot of the original natives here, they try to, when they do give us recognition, they try to classify us as freedmen. You know, like, yeah, you part of the tribe, but you was basically converted in the tribe. And like, no, they converted into us. And you feel me? You know, y'all couldn't even speak our language. Our
Hey, bro.
Oh, my bad.
No. I just wanted to kind of say something what you was speaking on, something you was speaking on. Bro, like we were fighting by proxy. So it had tribes fighting against other tribes. It's called war. They didn't come over here. They didn't Napoleon didn't send an army over here to fight the French in Negro War. He didn't send no army. Spain didn't send no armies over here. When Isabella sent an armada over here. So who did they use? They used the people of the land. So we was fighting. They just exploited our sectarial wars and things and strifes and things that we already had. And when that didn't work, you know what I'm saying, that they could just come in and just be so-called peaceful and then start slowly but surely, you know what I'm saying, getting us out of here, out
Yeah,
of power. That I
that's
mean,
what.
bro, that's
True.
crazy.
That's why,
I'm, I'm,
like I
that's
always tell my brother, when we be speaking on it, the Mongoloids also played a big part in that because when you look at those photos of them giving guns to the Indians, they never look like us. They always look like
that's right.
they always like the half breed and the Mongoloids, and you right, they exploited some of our own securities amongst the tribes, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how they was able to be able to pick us off little by little. Because you got to think about it, they are not large in numbers. Even to this day, they are not large in
Facts.
numbers, and they
Also,
definitely want large in numbers during that time. So they had to use the manipulation game, and I think the one way they was able, and this is just my personal opinion, was they came to us on a spiritual level, and came about on spiritual levels that they seen us practicing to get in good with us, and then they start turning us against each other. And at any opportunity that they outnumber us to be able to take over, they did. But when they wasn't, they picked us off. Like even down where I'm from, I'm from Chicago, but I'm originally from Mississippi. And they had the Creek, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Cherokees. They had us going against each other. Some sided with the Spaniards, some sided with the British. You know, and
facts, bro.
it's all about choosing sides. And everybody always is like something inside our DNA where you want acceptance. And I feel like they preyed
Mm-hmm.
on that as well, that we wanted acceptance and we really wanted peace. But we knew, it was war going on. So it's time to choose sides and choose who your allies is. And our allies turned out to be fake because the actual why they had us fighting against them, they was really allies because when you look at it, they all still their empires are still here, even if it got different names like government and the Senate and the Prime Minister. Those empires are still in place over there, and right over here, we're still misguided and uneducated about who we truly are. And the biggest thing that we got is an identity crisis. That's why we were so quick to attach on to that whole Pan-African shit. And what you were saying about the Noble Drew Ali, like I studied that brother and I have a lot of respect for that brother. And he was one of the first ones that told us, brother, you here. And I also believe that was the main reason why Martin Luther King got killed, because when he was just talking about, nonviolent protests, we just want to be, accepted, they was cool with that. But when that brother started saying like, hey, man, we exile in our own land, and when we go to Washington, we coming to get our motherfucking check, they like, oh, no, because he got too many niggas behind him. And they
Mm-hmm.
listening to him, they biting on his every word. The same thing with Fred Hampton in Chicago. Like my grandfather was, he was part of the Black Peace Stones. He was an El Rookin, but it was more of like some Islam, Moorish, Science Temple shit where it was about the community. And he always knew we was here, from here and shit, you feel me? And he instilled that up in us as well, too. You feel me? So it's like, even if I don't agree with certain aspect of people, that don't make me shun them out because, like I say, I'm always looking for knowledge and I'm an open book. And I know for a fact, I don't know everything. I probably ain't even touched the tip of the surface. I only know, what my people has taught me. And that's why I watch a lot of y'all brothers, because y'all brothers be dropping some real jewels on people. And, they had to come back to the first continent. Because when you look at it, this is the first continent. It's been proven, by scientists. In I want to say he was around like 1870s, 1880s. He was well distinguished scientist, but then when he started speaking about that, he kind of fell in grace, and the scientific
Mm-hmm.
community shunned him and shit. But at first, they had him
Yup.
on a high pedestal. At first, I can't remember his name, but he stated that this was the first continent, and there's also proof for the fact of that those people from what we call Kemet used to come here for a rite of passage that went up the Mississippi River into Wakanda, Illinois, where they found in the caves, you know, this journey that they articulately drew on these pearl oblong shapes of the travels that they made on this rite of passage. If Africa was the first continent and motherfucker, that's where civilization start, why are they coming over here for this rite of passage? Why are we not going over there?
So now check, hey, look, so now listen. So check this out, right? So why you think, why the fuck you think they hiding this shit from us? Because that's the more sinister is, I want to know why. I want to know why. Because once we start figuring out why, once we start asking the right questions, we gonna understand and we can get to the bottom of the shit a little bit more. Why you think that they are hiding the fact that this is the oldest continent? Because like I told you, man, like before, like a lot of brothers say, before the Great Atlantic Ocean came, whether you believe that it was a split of the continent, the continental drift, I don't believe that, because the land's still connected under the water, and there's pyramids and structures under the sea that's 2,500 feet below the sea surface, below the land or whatever. But 2,500 feet is a long. I don't think you can swim 2,500 feet. Even if you do, I don't think you go under more than 500 meters or 500 feet underwater without the pressure getting to you. If I'm not correct on that, but you know what I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong though. But for the most part, like I said, that's what I'm in this shit to prove. I'm not in it, and they ain't got no knock on the people from Africa. But understand this, right? My thing is with Africans is this, right? And I ain't gonna never let this shit go, right? First of all, they tell us that they sold us to people, right? Number one, right? Number two, they know that this story is not true, but they still come to America and carry the same story. And I'm not saying all of them, because, you know, you can't say all Africans. I met some Africans that's, you know, cool as hell, but to a certain extent, they all look at you like, oh, you were slave and they sold you, instead of knowing the real truth that we are original man over here. Understand what I'm saying? That whole story has been fucking created and been stretched out. Oh, y'all came from Africa and all this, that, and third. But when you have animosity against someone who sold you and gave you up again, and that's the same way we supposed to have animosity against our own people. We know that the African story is not true. We know in most cases that the people, your own people over here that's next to you, you don't know what Aborigines sold you out. And like I said, in finding your ancestry or looking down the line, you're going to indulge on some shit that might not be what you find out. Because you might find out that your ancestors were the people who enslaved us and helped us be in this situation. Not you per se, but just anyone in general. That, we are Aboriginals, but we're going to have a cutoff point to where we're going to go our separate ways, because we're going to find out that some of you motherfuckers was traitors. My family might be a traitor once. I'm not going to sit here and you know what I'm saying, act like my family couldn't have been that, because we don't know. We don't know, but this shit is going to come out. It's going to come out. This shit is going to be exposed, and a lot of these so-called motherfuckers who kept this whole Pan-African shit up, they're going to look back at us and say, well, damn, yo, them motherfuckers knew who they was. It ain't you going to come up in here and tell us. We finding out. And like I tell everybody, look, it's just too much shit that's pointing here on this land that just is not correct. You don't find coca leaves in Egypt. So how do the mummies have coca leaves? You find out that the first pyramids over there were step pyramids, but we got hundreds of step pyramids over here in North in the Americas. Okay, you find out the first mummification, irrigation system, nails, all types of shit, man. We got a series that we do the encyclopedia, and we pretty much touch on a lot of the innovations and inventions that was created in this land or whatever, as far as the number zero, where some people don't believe that the number zero exists. But still, the number, you have to have zero before you have one. You know what I'm saying? But even though some people say, oh, zero is nothing, you know what I'm saying, is nothing. So, you know, that's some science that has to really be, you know, be sorted out though. But for the most part, What I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, we was already here. People left from here and went around the world and did other things. A lot of the brothers came back here. That's the same thing what happened. Well, I think what happened with Columbus, because Columbus said, I'm going to reconquer Jerusalem. Okay?
Facts.
And he said, I'm going to reconquer them. You find all of the Hebrew writings here. You find the oldest so-called Ten Commandments here. You find all of this stuff that's supposed to be over there in fucking Mesopotamia, or they're lying. They're lying about fucking Mesopotamia. They're lying about so-called Jerusalem being over here when this shit is right here. They're lying. And that's the reason why these niggas can't get with When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler, because they don't understand it. They don't understand it. And Horace Butler touched on Peru a lot. He touched on Peru a lot in that book. You understand what I'm saying? Touch on it a lot or whatever. But like I said, man, for the most part, we looking over there when everything was right here. Everything was right here. This shit is new to the Europeans. The Europeans was not traveling prior to 1492 and prior to around that time, prior 1300s or whatever. They was not traveling. They was not traveling because they was scared of the sea. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of things when we deal with the brothers that was over there, the Aboriginal brothers over there, in which most people call Moors, because like I said, they terminology. Once I start seeing that they was calling people Moors here, then I start saying, well, damn, hold up. This is a descriptive term. And it tells you that in the fucking definition of it. Because we know it ain't no North Africa, but remember what I told you. North Africa could be Europe. This is just their way of describing it. If you look on a map, what's north? What's north? What's north of Africa? Europe.
Yeah, facts. And the ancestors used to actually call the North South. But dealing in terms of today, yeah, that is Northern Africa, and it's connected. You feel me? But to speak on what you were speaking on, why they trying to push the premise of Africa is the first, you gotta look at it from a broad perspective. Like, they say Africa is rich with all the natural resources. But back in those times of the ancestors, those resources really didn't mean nothing to us. All that gold, diamonds, and ruby shit, that's costume jewelry. The actual shit that actually meant shit was agriculture. And this land is full of agriculture. Even with the hemp plant, you can make clothes with the hemp plant that's better than cotton. But we got the cotton fields, we got the tobacco. We are full and rich of agriculture, not to mention oil. You feel me? So all that diamonds and gold and shit, that's costume jewelry to us. And I think the main reason they push that is because not only they push that, but they push the fact that we're from Africa, because they want us, like I was saying earlier, the feeling of acceptance, like, hell yeah, you thinking that and not knowing what you know. Yeah, I want to be from Africa, because that's what civilization started at. That's where the more high tech people came from. That's where all the resources at. That's where I want to go. You just got to look at the whole Ghana thing. When have a country ever offered anybody, yet alone, they own people, yet alone some people that's not from there, free land to move back? Man, that shit sound suspect on so many levels. Man, I'm gonna be real. Man, I can go amongst any crowd, but I'm from the streets, man. Ain't shit for free. I ain't never been handed nothing for free. And coming from Africa and all that shit they coming from, I doubt it that they giving away something for free. You feel me? So it got to be something behind that. And I think that's the main reason why they push that, because they want us to go back like they did when I think it was like 200,000 to 300,000 blacks from here got duped into believing they was from Africa, and the eugenics movement helped them get to West Africa and West Liberia and, up in that area. They want us to connect to that, so we can, once we accept that we are from there, we automatically give up our rights to where we originally from, and they owe us. I don't want that federally Oklahoma tribe shit that they owe. I want that original shit. You feel me? And that's what they don't want to give up, and it's a lot of land. And land will always be valuable, especially if it's close to a main water source. And a lot of us come from areas where there are high water sources. You feel me? That is like one of the main resources you need, because you need water to survive and you need fertile land to grow your agriculture. Ain't none of that shit really, you know, they got places like that over in Africa, but for the most part, that shit is a vast desert.
Hey,
You
let me comment on the resources real quick. I just want to say that America's actually got third largest gold reserve. Okay, that's after Australia and China. The largest iron ore mine is inside Brazil. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Carajás mine, right? This is the largest iron ore mine in the world. It's in Brazil. The second largest producer of nickel is inside Canada, right? And that's right after Russia, which is another of our territories, right? We got the largest rainforest, the Amazon. You know what I'm saying? We got the largest coal mine in the world. It's in Wyoming. You know what I'm saying? And then we got some of the most we got cocaine, which is bad, but we got some of the most dopest resources in the world that people need. And then if you read the book, it'll tell you. I forgot what book it was. Americans Past, I believe. It'll tell you 600 foods inside of America, inside Africa, come from America out of 649. If I said that the right way, pardon me, y'all. All right, man. I'll pass the mic. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh no, you right, brother. You know, we have pretty much, you know, when you go from the tip of North America all the way to the tip of South America, we got pretty much all the resources you need. You know, and we had the gold and stuff too, but when it all boiled down to it, you can't eat the gold. You know, and they know this. You feel me? That's why, you know, and you know, the thing is, a lot of the stuff that, like, I guess you can call it warring. I call it just spank, like the chief said earlier, spanking these Pan Africans on their ass. You know, a lot of stuff that we discussing with them, we can debunk they shit with common sense. I don't need no books to debunk your shit, fam. Why would I go all the way across one of the most deadliest oceans and the deadliest route of that ocean to pick up some people to bring them to a land to fucking agriculturally work it, and they don't even fucking know the land? While I got the people on the land already subdued up under my boot. I'm gonna make them work this motherfucker. You know, and then they talking about some at full capacity. We got more high-tech ships than they had at that time, and we would not put those ships on the ocean overcapacitated. Why? It would capsize. And you mean to tell me some wooden pirate ship ass boats then capsize along the way? Where's the room at for the food for these journeys? These is 3 to 6 months journeys, you know, and the numbers just don't add up. But the treaties of the Barbados Act about stop sending your Negroes, your Indians from the mainland down here, that makes sense, because when Columbus came, he seen us on ships coming from the mainland to the islands. You know, we know how to work these waters. So all the black folks here is either, you got a lot of black folks in the mainland that come from the Caribbeans. You got a lot of black folks a lot of black folks in the Caribbeans that come from the mainland. Then you got a lot of them that stayed, that didn't get shipped up over there. You know, so all they shit can be debunked with common sense, man. And you just look at it like, look at who gave you your shit. The very people you banging on and shit is the people that gave you your whole theory. And you going to their schools and you joining a Greek fraternities. But every time I look around, you want to tell me to bang on this motherfucker. You want to tell me blacks on all 4 corners of the earth. And then when I say I'm from here, oh no, brother, you from Africa. Let me teach you about your African, blah, 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 Kemet. Even if we was from Africa, how the fuck can you point out that we came directly from fucking Egypt? You know, they stayed with that Egypt banging shit, bro. And it's nothing personal, because like I say, the knowledge that they learning about it, like I learned it too. And it's not about the fact that I feel a connection to it. I just feel good knowing that black folks is doing good no matter where they at, because of the struggles that we go through and the hellholes we've been put in. You know, I got African friends too, and they tell me all the time, I didn't learn about slavery until I came to America, or they was in like a Catholic or a Christian school over there in Africa that was ran by white folks from Europe.
I converted African every day, bro. Every time I step out the house, I converted African. Or he just agree with me.
And honestly, a lot of them don't like us. Just being real. They don't fuck with us. They don't look like us. You feel me? And like I say, man, it ain't nothing personal towards them or nothing, man. But I just gotta state the
But why you
facts.
think they don't fuck with us? But listen, listen to this, right? But why wouldn't you fuck with? Like I said, a lot of them come here. They don't have a choice but to fuck with us because they ain't never do nothing for us. They telling you that they sent your ass over here, and then as long as you believe that shit, as long as they have some type of superiority over you, because when they come here, we seem to treat them so damn good, like we be happy as fucking African. But at the same token, they telling you that they sold you, and then what they do is they live off of ignorant. Now I'm not saying all of them. You got some of them that's over there in the continent, but for the most part, a lot of them who do come here, they do big buck dancing, and they are on some coon shit. They on some real serious coon shit. And like you said, most of us don't understand because we're not taught to understand this shit. We're taught to be inferior to all these so-called people who come to this country from over there, from Europe, from different parts of like fucking just all over, man. It's like we really gotta really sit back and really learn who you are so you can have some type of pride in yourself, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we don't know who we are. We sit back, we don't say people clown us, people look at us, you know. It's just a joke, man. It's just a fucking joke, man. And like I said, I don't have no respect for a lot of motherfuckers, man, because of how we treat each other and how we treat, you know what I'm saying? We treat other people so motherfucking good when they come here, but we hate each other. You know what I'm saying? We hate each other, bro. And at the same token, like I said, a lot of these Africans here, I don't have no problem with no Africans, but I see how they roll. Cause I know how phony they is, man. They sit there in a minute and try to talk down on you. What gives you the right to talk down on me? And you left your fucking country, yo. What could be worse than leaving your own house to go live in another person's house? And then the people who've been over here the whole time, if anybody should have left somewhere, it should have been us.
Yeah, and that's
and then
my bad, bro.
But no, you good. But then people come here and try to say, "Oh, well, you're not educated because we don't want to subscribe to what the white man told." We created these curriculums in which come here to learn, and we created them. We created them through science, just us knowing shit. You had motherfucking Benjamin Banneker created the damn almanac or whatever. He created a system of basically of agriculture because he had to be an Aborigine. How he gonna create an almanac for the land, American almanac, unless he knew the system of the land? And this is through agriculture. That's the only way you're going to be able to do agriculture, by knowing the almanac, knowing when the different seasonal, the different seasons going to arise here. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, people come here all the time. They talk down on us. We control the whole world. There's a rap video or there's a rap song on every freaking fucking commercial. They want to make everybody a rapper, or everybody, all the culture you create, they want to make everybody be successful at that except you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for example, how everybody keep talking about this little queer faggot ass nigga 6ix9ine or whatever. You wouldn't see no black rapper be famous like that because you have to be on the weirdo shit. See, people want to see different diversity. If you just a regular, typical rapper, you ain't gonna get that many. You ain't gonna get that many views or people to really notice you because they like, we didn't seen these niggas do it so far. But you gotta go beyond. You gotta go beyond any cultural thing that we create. You gotta paint your motherfucking hair different colors, and then at the same time, you gotta pretty much bang on the people who created culture, in which, you know what I'm saying, in which a lot of these motherfuckers do. Say a nigga, like, you know how, listen, you're a Mexican, fam. I don't want to hear the word nigga come out your mouth. If I hear you say nigga around me, you're gonna get super checked. And I'm gonna give you one. If I hear nigga again, you might get choked out.
Facts.
First time I let you get it, okay. If I ever hear you say nigga again or address one of my people as, you not a nigga, so you can't be saying my nigga. You know what I'm saying? If I hear you saying my nigga or addressing my people as that, you gonna get super violated. It's like he said, they're gonna super violate your ass. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we too friendly to everybody except our own people.
Yeah, that's by design. You know, we've been taught to hate each other. You know, in my honest opinion, I think everybody over the world been miseducated, and
That is true.
we've been miseducated, and you know, a lot of us don't. I mean, outside of just us, there's a lot of people that don't know the real, true, dark history of their people. You feel me? And it's all done by design. And you know, at the same time, like I be telling people, we got to be honest with each other. That man, you know, we all look at it like, man, it's these white people at the top. It's some niggas up there with them too. You feel me? And you know, this shit is all a design to keep us in this stagnant place and you know, dumb us down because they don't want you to know, you know, the truth. Because once you know the truth, it's gonna set off something in your genetics that's gonna go straight to your brain, and everybody's gonna connect on the same level. Just like now, how everybody's connecting on this level about where we from, and that's not something they want. And that's the reason why we have those fakes, more fakes than half breeds out in Oklahoma, fighting the fact that they are the real people. But here it is, you got some white motherfuckers in fucking London living good who's supposed to be controlling the tribe of the Cherokees out there that's funneling this money. I think it's like 2-3 billion to be exact, you know, and that's what it's all about. It's like, if you want to find out, you know, man, these motherfuckers live tax-free all their life. Some of these tribes, you know, man, they get 20,000 per head on the household. And I don't want that money because I know what the stipulations come with that money. But you're not paying these people that money unless you hiding something. And they would rather pay them that money than us finding out what we know, because they will lose way more, and they will also lose their way of life to generate that money that they can pay these people off. And you know, I don't know why Africans don't like us. I know they talking about some they sold us. And you know, I do know they bought people from over that way on the ships, like 10, 15, 20 people. But in my honest opinion, I believe them when they say they sold us, because I know we had peoples over there, but also during the wars on the Northeast coast, they sent our peoples up over there and they put our peoples in slavery. And I know they sent some of our peoples down to what was called the Moroccan Empire at the time. You feel me? Which, you know, it was just a name, just like Africa was named Ethiopia at the time. You feel me? And I believe, like, yeah, you know, they had no problem with selling us back to them. So basically all they did was bring us back to our land. That's why they not talking about this, but in some instance, when those people got off them ships, they knew where the fuck they was. And they ran, you know, man, they ran for high ground quick. They got the fuck up out of there, you know, and they had to, you know, keep this shit diluted and dilated from us and shit, because they know if the masses wake up, we gonna realize that not only has everything been a lie to us, but the amount of people that is here, you know, our people, that number has been diluted to keep us thinking that they have more people than us, when they just a drop in the bucket. That's it.
Mm-hmm. But at this point in time, it's beyond just straight Europeans. It's a lot of other people who rocking with them doing the same shit. It ain't just them. It's a lot of other people who doing the same shit they doing to us, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't just them no more. It's beyond them. You know what I'm saying? The shit is so mixed up now. It's everybody. Everybody is fighting for the same thing: ultimate resources, man. And that's what the whole thing in the matter. Just like, you know, like I said, I got into I was actually talking to somebody at work today about the that so-called caravan. If you notice, I already got videos about it or whatever. And like, you know, they sit up there, oh man, they was tear gas and infants. But listen, let me tell you something, right? You can't, if you break in my house right now, if you come and tell me you want to come in my house, I'll tell you no, and you force your way in here, I can do whatever I want to do to you. What am I supposed to do? Just let you come in my house? What am I supposed to do? Just let you come in my house? And you got other immigrants who came here who sitting up there caping for them like, yeah, listen, I don't want to see no children get tear gas, but their mother should have already knew what the circumstances was when you in this caravan of 6 million people, 6,000 people. You should already know, because you got to also look at it like this, man. If a person come to America, right, and they can't find a job, then what? They ain't gonna be homeless because they gonna get social benefits. So you giving out free fucking benefits to people who don't even belong in this country, and you don't want to give us our redress of grievances. And like I said, the redress of grievances don't have to be monetary gain or Federal Reserve notes. It could be land, but the land is what basically keep like the food stamp and SNAP and all these other systems, because most of that is from the farm bill. The farm bill is what keep that going. A lot of people don't even know that. SNAP's supplemental nutrition assistance program, that is funded by the farming, that's the farming bill. That is funded by the farming bill, WIC. I think it's like three other social services that's generated by the farm bill. So people come here, you give them free welfare, you give them free benefits and everything. Like I said, I don't care or whatever, but at some point in time, we gotta look and say, well, damn, this is our land or whatever. So you keep bringing people here, and people benefit more on this land than you do. You don't even benefit the way some of these people be benefiting. It ain't got nothing to do with jealousy. It just got something to do with what's right is right, man. You owe us a redress of grievances, but instead of just paying us, you rather just keep bringing immigrants here and keep giving them free benefit. And like I see these people, these women be having all these fucking children or whatever, and no one say anything about it. But they, at the same token, they have you kill your children. You know what I'm saying? They have you there set up abortion clinics every motherfucking where, so you can go ahead and just kill your motherfucking children. They don't care. And that's the reason why a lot of these abortion clinics, Morgan Sanger, and all the other fucking shit was created, because like people like J.P. Morgan Chase and the Rockefellers, they was looking and saying, well, damn, they don't want to take care of black people, children. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why they was pushing abortion so much. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to have to take care of them, because they like, oh, they having all these kids, but yet you bring immigrants that's here that you see clearly that they jerking the fucking system. It ain't no mystery. Motherfucker come here and have all these motherfucking kids, and then you sit here and look like, well, why would you want to have all these kids? You just enter this country because they already know by them having all these kids, the United States going to take care of them. So you could take care of all these foreigners, but you complain about doing anything for the American Negro who built this country, who land this was, who basically y'all benefit from this shit heavily. Y'all benefit from all the inventions we made. Y'all benefit from from culture and music and entertainment that we created. Y'all benefit from every motherfucking thing, and a lot of these things in this country is generated by us alone. So, like I said, man, at the end of the day, man, you gotta know who you is. Like I said, any act against any human being is wrong or whatever. But at the end of the day, you gotta care about your people. If you went to a place and signed up and agreed to go there willingly, and you don't know the history of this country. You don't know that they was hanging people 50 years ago. But when they was hanging us 30, 40, 50 years ago, America was such a bad place. Now all of a sudden, oh, well, they ain't doing that no more. But every other motherfucking day, you hear about a black man getting shot down. They don't have to do that no more. They can legally kill your ass and then create a propaganda story around it that supports it.
And they gonna believe it because the perception has been put on that we are savages, that, like my little brother was in the army. He said when foreigners come over, they show him a video of black folks in they worst form. The projects, fighting, getting drunk, all on drugs, robbing people and shit. So that automatically make people suspect and put that perception in their mind where they already got that interpretation of us. So when they see us just being normal, you know how we is. We loud, but we don't mean no harm. But they take that and get scared when it's really no harm to them whatsoever. Because to be honest, outside of ourselves, we really not, people that go out searching. Yeah, you might have some that be on that, but everybody got those type of people. You know, you could have been any color and they would have got a hold of you. And that's just because that's just how their mind is. But in all actuality, we not people that come in to destroy. You know, we show love even when they do us dirt. You know, like when that kid, when that church is out the church, let's pray for him. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, me myself personally, fuck that. Let's kill that nigga. Kill his whole family. I don't, ain't anybody that was around him when he was going through that Archaeology, like, kill him. Like, real talk. Like, I'm not one of them dudes, like, you know how, like, they'll see a nigga getting fucked. You know, it's like 20 niggas outside and 2 police officers fucking one dude up. I'm not the one that's gonna grab the book and my phone and jump on Facebook on live. I'm gonna be that nigga that off somebody else's phone on live beating the shit up out of that police. And you know, I'm not advocating nobody go out there to fight the police, but like that's just me. You know, a racist come up on me talking all racist ass shit. I'm not finna pull my phone out. You gonna see me from somebody else's phone whooping their ass because I'm not finna tolerate no disrespect. Because I don't come disrespectful. I come with respect. You show me no respect, I don't say shit, but you get out of line and disrespect. You know, I got to check your ass. But they put this perspective of us that we just some savage motherfuckers that's looking to rob, rape, beat, and kill any motherfucker we get our hands on. In actuality, we not even like that. You know, even in the hood, it's probably like 20% of the neighborhood that actually got niggas out there like that. The rest of the niggas that's in that shit just don't want to be fucked over. So they got to adapt to what's going on. And we already stuck in survival mode anyway. So those instincts going to kick in regardless. And this is the state of place that they placed us in. And it was all done by immigration because they brought in so many people to basically push us to the back burner to the point where all these bills that was passed strictly for black people, everybody else is benefiting from that shit now. It's a fucking dark Indian dude from actual India went to school for free on the minority health. Well, niggas can barely get in Harvard. You feel me? Real, you know, from here. So, you know, all that shit is designed with the immigration and everything. It's for that everybody to overpopulate us to keep us in the state that we in. And we all out here struggling in survival mode for resources to be able to survive and take care of your family because that's all that everybody wants. You know, regardless of what color you are, you know, you want to take care of your family. But we put in the dire situations where it's much harder for us to be able to do that. And people are going to be like, well, you know, everything is available to everything. But yeah, these thoughts and these ways of life and the way of living has been passed down for so many generations that we fucked up. Because if you look at us before the civil rights movement, we had high 80, low 90, 2-parent households, 6, 7 kids, you know. Only the mom stayed at home, the dad had the job. We had all the business in our own community. Our money circulated our own community. Then after the civil rights movement, our money went out of the community. These business shut down, and now we out here shopping with the same people we protested against. And they came to the understanding, well, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't gotta fuck with them, but I'll take their money because it's business. And you know that's where we at right now, and you know it's just fucked up. And I think the identity crisis is the main thing that plays into that. So the fact that a lot of people are on the level of trying to find out who they are, you know, that's a good thing for us because it's inspire you where you got some type of connection, and hopefully, you know, we can build from that and, you know, better ourselves and start to be able to practice group economics and, you know, look out for each other instead of, you know, I walk past you and I don't know you, I'll mug you. Now, like, hey, how you doing, brother? We don't get a lot of that. And, you know, that starts with yourself. And that's how I move through life. When I see somebody, I speak. Nigga don't speak back. Cool. I don't say shit. But I'm still going to be me.
When nigga up here, like in the north, they take that as a sign of weakness. You friend down south, you get that shit everywhere. Everywhere you go, people like, hey, how you doing? And they, you know what I'm saying, up here you do that shit, motherfucker look at you like, oh, you up to something and shit. Like, well, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? And that's how this program we didn't got by even living around these motherfuckers to where they would even have the audacity to think like that and have you believe that same shit. But, you know, I'm about to take this on. It's been a long day for me, man. I'm tired and shit. But my brother, I appreciate you for coming on, man. I said you're welcome to the chat anytime, man. You want to come on? And I also, like I said, I sent 2 other I sent the sister as well as another brother the link. I don't know whether you got it or not. I sent it to your email. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you, Truth. you got my email, so you can hit me up pretty much time. If you got something to talk about, you need something, man, just feel free to hit me up. But yeah,
Appreciate that,
pretty.
brother.
Nah, no doubt, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Like I said, I do this. I do this for the people. I ain't. This shit ain't. It's not for me, man. Because at the end of the day, I got to give it away. What good is it for me to know I can have all these documents and have all this data and all the research, and I just keep it to myself and just keep and teach my daughter? That's it. No, I got to give it to the people who it belong to. It's a reason why this shit is being unearthed, because they thought they buried your culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, a lot of these different statements reflect to you losing who you were, losing your culture. You know what I'm saying? Losing your fucking culture. They taking everything from you. Now, the only culture you know is this fucking terrible ass system you live in. So with that being said, man, peace to everybody in the chat. Peace to everybody that came through. Um, do support Culture Freedom, Hidden Cultures of America, as well as my T-shirt Spring app. Cop yourself an Aboriginal hoodie, T-shirt, or whatever you desire. Um, but definitely, if you can, please press that like button so this will be a trending video, as well as support Culture Freedom, Hidden Cultures of America. So I can definitely just get the first volume out and the first installment. I'm probably going to be looking to do a three-part series. I just need to get the first part out first. And like I said, please support me. You can support me in my Cash App as well as my PayPal account. So I'm actually going to post it when I get off of this and edit the video or edit the live stream a little bit, as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, the informational stuff. But yes, man, please support your boy. Please hit that like button on the way out, and please thank this brother right here for coming through, sharing, dropping the jewel. And that being said, man, like, man,
Yeah, man. Pleasure being on the show again. The fuckery was crazy yesterday, but we got past it. And you know what I'm saying? Next time some shit go down, niggas gonna get body bag, man. We gonna put niggas body bag inside a body bag. We ain't playing no more, man. We gonna keep dropping this information. Uh, yeah, it's been a long day for me too. So shout out to Trav again for coming on the show, and the sister and the old boy that should have been on. Good looking out. Peace to the panel, the chat. Man, we gonna keep this information coming, man. That's it.
Uh,
no
I
doubt.
I, I want to appreciate y'all brothers having me on y'all panel today. I would definitely like to build with a Tontonist one and the Chief and the Light Man. On a solo level because y'all brother got a lot of knowledge. And like I say, I'm an open book. I appreciate everything. And as far as like business wise, I got a lot of knowledge on that with multiple things. So if y'all brothers ever look into certain things as far as like, the medical marijuana, learning how to program machines so you can get a job starting off at 20 some dollars an hour, saw operation and shit like that. I got all that information. I'm thorough in it. I have no problem with passing it on to you. Man, I do this for the people. Man, I do this for the tribe so we can get ourselves together. And I appreciate y'all having me on. And y'all just
That's
keep
right
doing
up
what
Chief
y'all.
Alley. That's right
Uh,
up Chief Alley, man.
what you
That's
talking
right up
about?
Chief Alley.
What you was talking about?
Nah, what you talking about? Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. No, I was
Chief.
just saying. I was just saying. Man, I appreciate everything y'all brothers do, man. Man, it feels good to see our own out here spitting this knowledge instead of everything is either Pan African or everything else other than who we is. So, thank you, brothers, man, and
Uh-huh.
thanks for having me on the panel.
Already.
Indeed, Chief. You want to let the people know where they can contact? Y'all all know the Chief. Y'all know where Chief is at.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Yo, man, like I said, we was discussing the last night thing. Hopefully, this is, we're not gonna take this over into tomorrow. Those guys aren't that important to have that much of energy put towards them, you know, whether or not what they thought and how they felt about what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, it's just always things that we could take from it. I'm actually gonna check it out because I haven't had the opportunity to look at it, and you know, but that's not gonna really deter how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? How we need to move as as a as a people. You know what I'm saying? And not just as us people who have been awakened and said we are aboriginal to this land. Just everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? This is not just about you. You know what I'm saying? It's about the future. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, this is a serious thing, and I don't know how serious those guys took it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because I know I know you guys taking it serious. You know, y'all know I take it serious. So they have to understand that that's where a lot of the fire comes from, is because this is serious to us. We're not playing. So yeah, man. Shout out to you, Thompson's one, man. Shout out to Aboriginal Power, man. Shout out to Jaguar. Shout out to Cure Mayo. Shout out to James Flames, aka Doodoo Brown, man. Who else we got? Man, shout out to Lightman Z, man. Shout out to Todd Data. Who else we got, man? Man, I'm forgetting you, man. So, shout out to the original Copper, Empress Hobart. Who else be dropping, man? Hey, man, shout out to Coach Crew Cut.
Yup.
Shout out to Bones McCoy. Y'all, we can go in all day. Y'all know what I'm saying? Shout out to peace and love to everybody, man. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. If you haven't signed up to TribeUp.app, please do. It's the app that pays you to refer friends and family. I mean, it's not much more sharing and tribal, you know, things that we could get done, man. So we trying to make history here, man, and build something that we all could be proud of, man. So go check us out at TribeUp.app. Yeah, man. Peace and love to the tribe, man. Also, y'all can check us out at my channel, Chief Holiday, and Tribe Up. So holla at your boy, man, and let's get it. We just getting started, y'all. We'll go.
No doubt, y'all. Thank everybody for coming through, man. Thanks to the chat. Thank everybody for coming through on your Friday night. I know you can be out partying, turning it up, but you're here trying to get some of this information. And like I said, I'm going to do another video on DNA. I'm just going to update some of the research on that. But like I said, man, definitely support culture freedom. And everybody have a good night, yo. We out. Peace.